Hi, how are you guys? Apologies in advance. And for really screwing up last week. Yes, we're back. Yay. It's been a bit. I had a bunch of things come up last week, and then I thought things were gonna work out, and then they didn't, and then I forgot to let you know, and I apologize. And again, since it's been what up? How's it going? Since it's been a while, I'm gonna obviously forget all of the things. So we'll see how this goes. But how are you all? How have you been? Tell me the things, if you'd like. Flight instructor, practical test standards. for airplane. We are back on our shenanigans. Da 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 da. Boom. Yay. Oh no, where is Dice Turtle of Destiny? Oh god, there he is. Urgh. You've got a vacation day due. Oh, you've got a vacation day due to AT&T. Why? What does that mean? Explain. But that's good. Vacation days are good. Oh, and then the notepad. Forgot the notepad. So I have to find. Oh, and we're starting this. Oh, yeah. Another day, another yawn. My apologies. Boom. Noom. So, yes, as you may have noticed, we are not doing we're not doing ground lesson again today. I thought about doing my instructor responsibilities and professionalism. I thought about doing my revamped weight and balance one, but I kind of I hate having to change them to not dox myself on here, and it's like getting down to that point where I need to have them all uh put together properly and the way that I'm going to have them for Checkride. So I think we're just going to for now focus, and from now on we'll focus on just the actual flight portion, and I'll be working on the ground portions on my own. We'll see. Maybe the next time we fly I'll change it up, but we'll see. So takeoffs, landings, and go arounds. I didn't hear about the nationwide outage today. I haven't heard anything about anything ever. So I guess not. That sounds bad for some people, but obviously good for you? Question mark? Yeek. If there's one thing you should know about me, I live under a rock and pay attention to nothing. So, Dice Turtle of Destiny. I won't be able to see chat for a little bit. I will get back to it. So continue communicating. All right. So, I don't have it up so that you can see it. That's my bad. I told you I was going to forget everything. Notepad. And that's going to go like that. And then once I put it up like this, boom, then it's going to go like that. Nailed it. Right? Excellent. Perfect. All right, there's that. All right. Takeoffs, landings, and go arounds. Normal and crosswind, takeoff and climb, short field, and soft field. No, number 2, short field. Oops, I could. I almost. We'll talk about that. And normal and crosswind. Oops, crosswind. Landings. Normal, short field, soft field, and then one of the others. Number 5, so that's number 2. So normal, short field. Number 4, that's a 1, so normal. And crosswind. And then little extra. Slip, go around / rejected landing, or power off 180. 1, slip to a landing. Sounds good. Fundamentals of flight. Number 4, straight descents and descending turns. Perfect. Performance maneuvers, steep turns or steep spirals. Number 3, so that's odd, so steep turns. Sounds good. I worked on those a bit more, and seems like my left ones are worse than my right ones now. But we're going to work on them again. Chandelles or lazy eights, and they are chandelles is what we have done the thing. Eights on pylons plus one of the other 3. Number 1, rectangular course. Kind of unlikely it will be my Checkride thing, but you know what? The turtle has spoken. B or C. 1 or 2. That's an even, so power off. And then one of the demonstration ones. 1 of 4. Whoosh, 4. Accelerated maneuver, correct? Yes, accelerated maneuver. Basic instrument maneuvers. Number 5. 5. Oh no. Recovery from unusual flight attitudes. All right, I guess we're doing it. It's kind of bothering me that I'm not capitalizing these things, but you know, things happen. Emergency approach and landing systems and equipment malfunctions and post-flight procedures. Yay, there is our list. All right, all right. Excellent. Back to the things. Hello, how are you? You heard about that? It broke 2-factor at your job. Couldn't log. Oh, you couldn't log in. Oh, it broke 2-factor. Oh, okay, the identification thing. You couldn't log in. Oh no. Oh shucky darns. Vacation. Guess you'll take it. So is are you going to be able to get back in there soon, or because you do you work weekends? Because then even if you had to go back to work tomorrow, then you just have a day and then another weekend or more days off. That's kind of nice. It is, right? It is Thursday today. Oh no. Sky vector, let's figure out where we're going. Not there. What do we think? Ooh, that looks yucky. I was like, oh, green there. No. Let's hereish. How about? Let's go hereish. And we're gonna find a delta. Practice our towered procedures. Is that a terza? That is a terza. We will ignore the terza for tonight. That looks bluish. Objectionable. That looks like fun. Kind of do, kind of don't. Yeah, okay, we're doing it. Let's look at the weather first. Okay, seems fine. Let's do it. What is it? LSE. Kilo Lima Sierra Echo. Okay. Right. Starting the sim, I guess. No, you do work tomorrow, but then you get 2 days off. Oh, isn't that nice? Awesome. Although I guess tomorrow going to be pretty busy for all of the things that you didn't get to today. Go to Kaboy. We can look at Kaboy. What is Kaboy? Where is Kaboy? Is Kaboy a delta? Oh God. Oh, we're gonna keep it in the lower elevation because it's also a Charlie. We're not gonna do that either. No. I did. Okay, I did. I was talking to friend instructor about this. Charlie airports. I need. I do need to practice. And just get over the hesitation. I always have some hesitation about all the things that I don't do. So at some point we'll go there. We'll go there. But okay, so you are installing the Mooney M20R right now. Which one is that, and how long do you have left? You seem to be absolutely excited. So, have you been waiting for this? And you've finally gotten it? Probably it's gonna suck. Oh no! But then again, you do. You got 2 days off, so just crank it out, and then just the chillings. It'll be nice. How close am I to CFI now? I will reveal nothing. I'm close. I'm just waiting on the date, basically. So making sure I'm actually going to be good. Just like final preparations, getting myself really comfortable with shit. Sorry. Oh my god. I'm sorry. See, you get me talking about Checkride and I say the unladylike things without even noticing. That one was terrible. Like there wasn't even you did. Apparently you triggered my stress response. Sorry. You're stoked about the Mooney? Excellent, excellent. And you have faith. We do. I know it was kind of casual there. I haven't been able to practice my ladylikeness in a bit. So, I guess don't read into that. So why do I need to do the Delta class airport? Because I am likely doing my check ride out of a Delta airport. So I want to make sure that I'm practicing those instructional things, like pointing out things on the runway, talking through tower stuff. So yeah, so that's what we're doing. But yes, sorry, getting comfortable with things. The maneuvers, the communication, and just getting overly comfortable because I get super nervous during the actual check rides and like whatever my comfort level. So this is the what I have to have in order to pass the check ride, right? I have to have like this much because as soon as I get to the check ride, I get so freaking nervous that it comes down to about there. That's how I think of it and stuff. So, yeah. Dang, go back to fitting school. I know. I don't know how that one slipped out. That was incredible. That was surprising even to me. Like I didn't even see it coming. Apologies. Kaboya's Tower, yes, but it's a Charlie and it's in like mountain stuff, and I really don't want to have to worry about the performance issues for now. I apologize. At some point we do. After check ride, I do want to start. I want to do some more fun different things. So yes, we'll start doing that stuff, but for now we'll just focus on we'll be focusing on the check ride stuff. You didn't even notice that first, but then you remember which stream you're watching. You're like, wait a minute. I'm almost like maybe I shouldn't have even said anything. Maybe it would have just gone through, but yeah, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, flight sim. Getting that. Where is it? There it is. Yay! And then the web. Get that there. Go like that. We are out of Kilo Lima Sierra Echo. Yes. Going to. Ooh, I don't know why it looks like a little fence or something, like a little picket fence. Yeah, we're gonna go over here. I think set as departure. Fly. But yeah, surprise, you're welcome. Within the first 20 minutes of the stream. Oh no. I'll put this in there, that, and then I probably have to put that as well. minute. Excellent. In case anyone would like to fly. Also, I guess we will go over the what's it called? Runway. Because before flights, we familiarize ourselves with the information pertinent to the flight, including no, not like that. Why? No, stop it. Stop. No. There. Yes. Pertinent to the flight, including, oh no, I turned the web off. Boom. Including our takeoff and departure airports. So, La Crosse Regional, Wisconsin. Might as well start going through that stuff. So, La Crosse Regional, Wisconsin, Lima Sierra Echo. It is up to date. Airport diagram. La da da da. We are going to be here. And weather. We must look at the weather. I think it was 310 when we first looked. Okay, so Kilo Lima Sierra Echo. We'll read it fully later, so we'll just look at it for now. 310. So we're likely going to get 36. So we are about here-ish. So hopefully we'll just get Alpha 1 takeoff. But just in case, we can look at our hot spots just to be aware of things. Oh, I guess I can use my iPad. Because I haven't looked into how to look at the hot spots on here. If there's an easy way to find those. But I will. I'll just read them out. So, I mean, I guess we could potentially guess. So hotspot 1, and then I'll actually read them out. So I assume coming here, you're supposed to be taxiing on Charlie, and then you might accidentally turn onto the runway instead of continuing onto the taxiway. This one, lots of intersections, so you might accidentally turn and run in, like, if you're trying to get that way and you end up going this way, crossing the runway. Yeah, so confusing, complex intersection, and somewhat similar, accidentally going onto the runway. Where are we? Lima Sierra Echo. Nope. This one. Okay. Hotspot. Runway 36. Oh, runway 36 hold position is set back on taxiway Charlie. Okay, so if we were coming from this way, we would need to get all the way past here, potentially, probably. Like the hold short line is right there, which kind of makes sense because we have another runway there. Interesting. And then taxiway Alpha 3, Alpha, and Bravo complex intersection. So yes, being aware of those. We are likely not going to have to deal with those. Very, very likely. Unless, no, still not. Because we also have 3-1, so we could take off 3-1 if that's straight down the runway. So yeah, that's probably it too. We taxi to Bravo and then to Bravo 1. We could do that. Hot cargo. I have not personally seen that before. So curious and curiouser. All right, so we have gotten what is potentially Alpha 1 or Bravo 1. We'll decide or find out once we get there. I guess we can leave that there and then go like so. Bum ba-dum, 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 bum. There. Oh my gosh. I have to shut down. I didn't turn on any of the things. The track IR, the little nav map, none of it. I'm sorry. I told you I was gonna have issues. Okay, so that's good. That is now good. That is good. And back. Okay, so, well, I guess we'll chat about things. It has been, I was supposed to look in my logbook to see what I have been up to, because I've been flying. It's just a matter of what we've talked about already. So, this one. Oh, and I can turn that on. Shoot. So, when did we last? Let me look. I don't even remember. February 8th. Okay. So, since then, flew, I think it was. Okay. So, first flight I had since we last spoke was quite terrible. I did not first solo flight, in a while, but kind of. First CFI practice solo flight in a while. And at the time, I didn't know what it was, but I just could not get into the proper mindset. I was not able to express the communication and instruction flows that I thought that I had been building. And just my maneuvers weren't where they were supposed to be, where I wanted them to be. I'm gonna take these off for a second. And I did. I thought I had made more progress than that, and it just felt like I was almost back at square one, or at least where I couldn't. Hang on, this is gonna bug me. I couldn't both fly the maneuvers and instruct the maneuvers. Like, I could only do like 50% of each if I did them together. So not great at all, or potentially passable. So that was a little bit disheartening. What am I doing? I'm doing this. Full screen. But I was like, well, I just gotta do it again. I had another flight booked the next day, and so I went and I did that one, and that went a lot better, which was a bit of a relief. It was funny because for my ferry flight, so I've mentioned my the elderly relative who was a pilot who was part of getting me into my aviation journey, and I have worn a pin of hers or at least brought it with every single flight, barring certain exceptions, on accident. And so it was a lot easier for me to just keep the pin with me in my glasses case than it was to always remember to wear it during the ferry flight. So I wore it the last day of my ferry flight and then put it back in its usual spot, and then forgot to put it on and take it with that day that I had a really not good flight. So I was like, huh, isn't that interesting? But so then I did. I remembered it for the next flight, and it was like, oh, that was a lot better. I'm not saying anything, but I'm not saying anything. But yeah, so I've gotten some solo CFI practice, which has been really good. And also the during that flight, the second flight that actually went a lot better. I took a little bit more time to not just be working on the maneuvers and the instruction portion, but to just really kind of not get to know the plane, but get to know the plane a little bit better, feel the plane a little bit better. Particularly did some slow flight. We really didn't. I haven't worked on just slow flight in a while, like actually just getting into it and sitting in it and doing turns and the climbs and the descents and really working through that. And that was really nice. And it, it was like really, instead of just really focusing on like the more academic portion of it, the more practical aspects was really helpful, I think. So yeah, be sure and sum my fuel. Yes, never skip that. I don't Friend instructor makes fun of me that whenever I sump the fuel, ooh, we're gonna have to go fill up the tanks again. I can't see nothing. What is happening? Oh no. Is there a specific reason that you are mentioning this? Oh, sorry, we're turning off the night. It's so pretty though. New. I'm gonna have to turn it down a little bit. I should probably check what you guys are hearing. Okay. I'll quick do that actually. Is that like really loud at all? If I go back inside, new. Recent incidents? I'd ask for details, but I don't want to pry. I think it's okay. I'll hopefully remember to check it again. Otherwise, just let me know if the sounds are too loud. They shouldn't be because I haven't changed anything, but we'll see. All right. So, checking the hobs and the tack. Take a picture of it. That's what I do. Oh, also chicken. You need to be there. Perfect. Okay. Hobs and the tack. I have adjusted a thing. So I started out like the learning or whatever, having all of the lights off when the aircraft is off. And the new instructor at the airport that I fly out of now, at least I think that it's him. He has been having the beacon on when just like having it left on while the aircraft is off. And I have also started to do that because that if you don't turn it off, then oh hello, I will get that when I get back to the thingy. Absolutely. But yes, so having that beacon on, just leaving it on at all times because it's on when you start up and then it stays off through your shutdown, and then why turn it or like why flip the switch when it's already off? You know what I mean? Huh. Or when the aircraft is already off. Haha. So yeah, that's an addition to my routine, I guess. Okay, so battery goes on. Pitot heat, nav lights don't have a strobe. Beacon's already on. Taxi lights, landing lights, flaps go down. Checking that fuel, we will fill up before we go. Noom. Alright, so taxi landing light is good. Red light on our left wing, white on our back. Creeping at the sounds. That is not what we're hearing. Yes, white on the tail. Beacon is on, yes. Green on the right wing. Oh, and then we're, gosh darn it. New. And new. And, new. Grasp the pitot tube. Feel that heat. And, control the space. Turn it off. Beacon stays on. Boom. All right. We have checked things. So now we get out of the aircraft. And we check our liquids. We drain a little bit of fuel from this wing. Checking it for sediment. Making sure to tip it to see if there's any water bubbles at the bottom or throughout. Drain a little bit of fuel from the other wing. Same thing. Also holding it up to holding the cup up to something white so that you can see that little blue tinge. Give it a little sniff to make sure it's got that nice, not flavor, scent for safety purposes and funsies. We hop on top of the wings with a stool and we check our fuel quantity. Since we're talking about it, we're just gonna fill that up now. And then, so we've checked our fuel quantity and quality. We also have a sump under the plane. We have a sump in here with the oil, which is the next thing we'll check. We will open the oil, clean it off, put it on again, open it up again, and make sure that it is above 4, or above 4.5. If it's above 4.5, we should be good. We're gonna add a half a quart, or a little bit more, I guess. Yeah. So we did that. Then we make sure that put the oil, the dipstick back, cover on, and yeah, make sure that's tight. Make sure the strainer isn't leaking, and then we have checked our liquids, and we can continue. So static port, avionics vent, air vents, pitot tube, make sure that's clear, drain hole, stall horn, fuel vent, leading edge of the wing, make sure there's no significant damage there. Give the wing a little rock, make sure that it is connected to the fuselage properly. Then we lift our aileron on this side, make sure that the yoke is turning in a this way direction. Look, see if I can get close up in there. Not really. Okay, so 4 bolts there, plus a rod. Give it a little wiggle, make sure that there's movement. 4 bolts there. Check the flap connection there, wiggle that rod, flap connection there. Check the tire, make sure it's properly inflated, no brake fluid. Baggage door if there is one. Then when we're over here, we're checking antennas as well as the fuel caps to make sure they're in the correct direction and on. Elevator, we can lift that up and that the yoke through the window should come back and then move forward when we put it down. Check those connections in there. Then the rudder, we can give itsy bitsy little, oh god, not like that at all. Itsy bitsy little wiggle, not at all, like just teensy weensy, make sure that the connections are connected, and then give it a little shift up to make sure that it doesn't disengage from the rest of the vertical stabilizer. Same thing over here. Lift that elevator up again. Make sure the yoke comes back and comes back, goes forward. Check those connections. Check the trim tab. Make sure that connection's good. Come around here, checking our antennas. Again, antennas up there, fuel vents. Then we check this. We go in the opposite direction. Connection there, rod there, wiggle, wiggle. Connection there. Lift this aileron. Make sure the yoke comes towards us. 4 bolts, and a wiggle the rod. 4 bolts, and lift the wing. Make sure it's connected to the fuselage. Tire is properly inflated, no brake fluid. Air vents, avionic vent, air vent if it's open. Double check the oil and the fuel, the strainer. Leading edge of the propeller, both sides. Trailing edge, both sides for any significant nicks or cracks. Alternator belt if there is one. The plane that I fly does not. Air intake, make sure that that is clear. There it is, right there. Exhaust port or both, if there is 2, make sure that those are properly connected and solid. And then clearance with the nose wheel, 4 fingers or a fist. And then give the shimmy damper, that bit right there, a little wiggle, make sure that has movement. And then we can back ourselves up, give her a little look-see from here, make sure she's not tilted and there's nothing significant that we can see. And then we go back inside. Hello, Ducky. Oh, it's been a while. We go back inside and we run through our checklist. Let me see if I have that on here. I'm feeling like I don't. There it is. Yes. Okay. I've been meaning to put this on there so that I can, yeah, do the thing, but for now, we'll just run through it. Weather density, altitude, weight and balance, performance requirements, flight plan, papers. Would have done all that beforehand. Fuel is on. Control lock is off. Flaps extended. Pitot heat tested. Lights, interior, exterior fuel gauges are true. Master is off. Then we go fuel quantity, quality, cap strains, vents, engine oil, propeller air intake, exhaust system, stall indicator, surfaces and controls, pitot static ports, gear, tires, brakes, antennas, ties, chocks, tow bar. We'll do the final walk around when we're about to actually get in the plane. Yeah. So the plane that I currently fly is actually in a hangar, so we can do all that in the hangar. Then we have to open the hangar, drag the plane out, and then final walk around would occur. So hopefully I don't forget to do that. Shuva, you're playing a game for the first time and you think you broke it already. How? Explain. That's awesome. Or not, maybe. It's fun to find the bugs, but it's also not if you're actually trying to just like play the game. Okay, so we are potentially out on the ramp. When we did oral exam, and now we're out here. Did the pre-flight. Maybe we're out on the ramp, so maybe this is our final walk around moment. And so we do our final walk around, check for tow bar, check for, oh, hello! You're not showing up, gosh darn it. I believe we did the thing. I love how you're doing a wheelie. I totally did a wheelie all the way down the runway on one of my landings recently. I was very proud. But yes, hello, greetings. Oh, sorry. Final walk around. So we check for tow bar. We check for anything that might have been left on the cowling. We check our aileron. Make sure those are good. Make sure nothing was left there. Fuel caps are on. Elevator is good. Rudder, just a smidgen. Can't do very smidgeny. That at aileron, like so. Again, fuel caps. And then here again, our strainer. and our oil. Make sure those are tight, as well as the little cowling cover for it. Check the propeller, and good. Yeah. All right. You got to areas you think you're not supposed to be at yet by exploring and finding a door that should probably be locked. Oh, well, what if it's just furthering the plot? Oh, damn, I don't have the C-170B yet. I don't, I'm sorry. Once I do CFI and I start making a little bit of money with my this, instead of shelling money out for it, I will start purchasing the aircraft. How does that sound? I mean, it looks cool anyway. All right, did the things. So now we, boom, get into the aircraft with, oh god, with DPE. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. With DPE. So we're here. Fuel is on. Okay, and so I was actually able to fly with another instructor. I'll get back to that. Get back to why a little bit later on. But I was able to fly with another instructor, the owner of the Constant Speed 172 that I have flown for airplane rides. So yeah. So there were certain things that I have adapted a little bit more as well, and still things that I need to. He wrote down a bunch of stuff that I can keep in mind, so I'll be continuing to go over that and implementing it. So fuel is on. How do we know? Because on switch is like this, so the lever should be to our left. If it was off, the lever would be straight down, like it says right there. Trim for takeoff, our little notch should be at the takeoff indication. Circuit breakers, but also check them, which we'll quick do. Looks good. Okay. Circuit breakers, good. No talking during takeoff and landing. That is our high workload. Those are our high workload phases. And then he also went into when is the high workload phases? What is that called? Sterile cockpit. And it's from before startup through our taxi, through our takeoff, and climb to our cruise. While we're in cruise, we're good to go. We can be, yeah. So cruise is not a sterile cockpit time. And then our descent through landing, taxi, and shutdown is more sterile cockpit. So those are our high workload times, focusing on the plane, what we are doing, where we're supposed to be going. Yeah. So no talking during takeoff and landing. Seatbelts are on at all times. Then I can ask, do you know how to use the seatbelt? Test the seatbelt. And I do. I do that when when I'm in with passengers that I know haven't flown. But it's one of those things that I do want to start getting into regardless. So that's one of the things that he mentioned, is just say, do you know how to work the seatbelt? Because then they can just be like, yeah, and then I'll be like, aye. So otherwise, let them, show them that you pull the lever on it, and then make sure for now it's nice and tight. That's how you get out of it if you need to. Exits are out the door to the left and right. Make sure you know how to use that. Click it open, click it shut. If something were to happen and you have to get out, open that door and make your way that way, not forward. So yeah, doors left and right. And if we lose power on the rollout, we'll stop on the runway. If it is after takeoff and below 1,000 feet, we will land straight ahead. If it is above 1,000 feet, we will consider turning around to land back on the runway. So I've got just the stock planes, yes, but also, now that you've mentioned it, the lovely, wonderful, for anyone who is not aware, WB Sim JP Logistics 172. Best plane. Best plane. Oh, just found a movement exploit already. Oh no, game is so sketchy. Oh no, why? What? Do I dare ask? You heard what? Fist bump explosion. Hello, how's it going? Heard what? Oh no, what did I say? I've already said a casual gamer word today, so I am concerned. Yes, so there we have that. We briefed our potential taxi situation, and so now we've done those things. We can look back at our checklist: passenger brief, Hobbs tax, circuit breakers, alternate static. We don't have because we don't. Hang on. No, sorry, I was talking about the vacuum. So yes, so seat track. Oops. Back to the doing, and then we will verify. So seat track, back and lock, chicken. Avionics are off. Autopilot is irrelevant. Carb heat is actually hang on. I don't know what kind of instructor to call him now. Have to have nicknames for all of them. But I don't know what his is yet. Hello, how's it going? How's it going? It is going well-ish so far. It has been a while, so we're getting back in the swing of things. But yes, how are you? Good to see you. But yes, most recent instructor, I guess, wants me to start working through flows. So, like, I have my verbal flows that I implemented when I started. So again, avionics are off, autopilot's irrelevant, carb heat is off, beacon goes on, prime it, that sort of stuff. But he really wants me to get into like the if we're doing the things, go from like the left to the right and do it like a sort of all the way around thing, so that you don't miss anything, which absolutely makes sense. My one question was was like from plane to plane, there are some differences, but I guess maybe that just gets worked into it. Like, since it's left to right, you're just checking all the things anyway from left to right. I don't know. That's still new for me, so we'll be kind of working on that. So yeah. So I guess we'll start from going right to left, maybe. So mixture goes on, throttle is slight, carb heat is off, beacon goes on, prime it, wachoo. Sorry, strange. Brakes are set, clear left, clear right, clear ahead, clear back, clear prop, master, and then we'll come back to the left, I suppose. Hand is on the throttle. There it is. Okay. A little bit more throttle than I thought. Flying with that instructor, had a hard time getting the plane started. For potentially a couple of different reasons. But he hasn't flown that one in a while. So it might have been a little bit of that, because I didn't have as much trouble getting it started the times before we flew together and the times after. So I do want to discuss that with friend instructor at some point, to kind of go over those things, because he was doing stuff to get the aircraft started that I was confused about, with like the carb heat and the mixture and the throttle and stuff. So I would like to understand. Our oil temperature and pressure is where it needs to be. Temperature will continue to come up. Our flow of our avionics, so carb heat is out. Taxi light does not go on yet because we're not taxiing quite yet. Nav light is on. And then we come up around, up, on, come back down here. Oh god, wrong button. Flaps go up. Mixture's where it needs to be. Back to our throttle. Alright. So then, verify. So we get our thing set. I'm like in between like the trying to do the flows thing and trying to do like the things that I know right now. So I apologize if I'm hesitating. Oh, I guess we have more avionic stuff over here. Hello. There. Okay. So, fuel's on both, trim for takeoff, flight controls. We'll make a square, so we'll push our yoke in and to the right. Our thumb points to the aileron that is up. Bring that yoke back. Elevator is up. We can give the rudder a little bit of wiggle. Oh, God! Sorry, hang on. Sorry. Elevator is up. Give the elevator a little, the rudder a little wiggle while keeping our brakes on. So whichever pedal we're pressing is the direction the rudder is going. Then we can come back to neutral. To the left, thumb once again points to the aileron that is up. Push it in. Elevator is down. And back to center. Instruments, airspeed is not going because we're not going. That's good. Attitude indicator is level and solid there. We will get our weather in a little bit. Turn coordinator looks good. DG is, our heading indicator is good. Vertical speed indicator indicates 0. Getting our weather. Kilo Lima Sierra Echo. The 23rd at 0353 Zulu does math. Ooh, it's right. We should be getting a new one. Like now. But oh well. Automated 310, wind is 310 degrees at 11 knots, 10 statute miles of visibility, clear of clouds. 4 degrees Celsius for our temperature, minus 1 degree Celsius for our dew point. Altimeter 2976. Remarks, AO2 differentiates precipitation. Sea level pressure is 1008.4 millibars. And then our temperature is 4.4 degrees Celsius, and that 1 indicates a minus 0.6 degrees Celsius for our dew point. So again, 310, we're expecting runway 31, 2976 for our altimeter. So we'll get that into our instrument as well. Make sure that jives. $6.55 at Kilo Lima Sierra Echo. 62460. So that's fairly that's close. That's within it's about 5, so we are good there. Did our instruments again, temperature, pressure. We will take ourselves a look-see to see if we want to go, if there's a nice run-up area that we can go do our run-up where we are going, or if we want to put ourselves on the non-movement area where we're not going to blast anybody. Boom. So if we are going to 3-1, we could go wander that way. We shall wander. Okay, so we'll get our frequencies. We get our frequencies in. We get ground first, and then tower. Hang on. Let me make sure I know who I'm talking to. I assume it will just be lacrosse. Lacrosse ground. Okay. So, when we call up to get our taxi clearance, where are we going? We don't know which direction we are going. Which direction should we be going? Kind of wanted to depart to the east, but I feel like we could depart. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Westerly, and then, yeah, I don't like over there at all. I think there's more options for ground reference maneuvers, and or I think I've done a boo-boo again. There's no good spots except closer to the cities. Oh, there's a state forest nearby. Maybe that's why. Gosh darn it. We're gonna depart to the north, and we're gonna wander our way to the east. That's what we're gonna do. Alright. Yeah, the game sure is jank. It tells you to fix a coffee machine, but you can't find a way to fix it. Okay, meanwhile, I found several others, including 2 feet from that one, but those save your game and don't replenish your awareness. Oh no! Your awareness. Jank. So are you gonna write down a little notepad or something and send it in to developers like, hello, here are your bugs. You're welcome. Or are you just going to have a good time exploiting them? All right. So yes, I think we will go straight out. Straight out, depart the area, and then go back to the east. Ooh. Okay. So VFR departure to the northwest. So we call up ground and we let them know. So who we are talking to, who we are, where we are, what we want, and, well, in this case, weather. So let's say we have Kilo. Haha. How about Kilo? So, Lacrosse ground, Cessna Hotel Tree 1 Delta 1, at the GA ramp with Kilo, ready for taxi, VFR departure to the northwest. And then they would give us taxi via Bravo. Not that. Shoot. This one. Start flight tracking. they would say blah 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 blah. Bravo, Bravo 1, hold short 31. And then we would say runway 31 via Bravo, Bravo 1, hold short 31. Cessna Hotel Tree 1 Delta 1. No, this game is essentially abandonware, but it's nostalgic, so you'll attempt it again this weekend when you have more time. Okay, that's fair enough. That's fun then though. That's like a different type of entertainment. Where it's like, it's not going to get any better, so let's see how far we can get it. Okay, so we are taxiing, yes, this way. Heading ourselves over to Bravo. So we are utilizing our taxiway diagram. We have these lines here. Those yellow, there's a solid line and then a dashed line. On the side of the solid line, you need clearance in order to go over them. On the dash side, you can just cross over. Solid side of the line is the non-movement area, not controlled by ATC. Dashed line is the movement area controlled by ATC, and that includes taxiways as well as runways. So now we get onto Bravo. This nice solid yellow line here is our center line. We're going to back ourselves up a little bit so that we can see. Is our center line in order to keep ourselves on the center, give our wings clearance on either side. We put that line straight without the shaft of our yoke. Those lights do not belong, but blue taxiway lights. Keep that in mind. We're coming up on Bravo 1. We see some red signs coming up, so we're gonna both on the pavement and on, the side. So we'll make sure we use those as a stop. See what we're doing, make sure that we are clear to go across or otherwise. And also, we're headed to runway 31. We are at runway 31. Excellent, amazing. We'll do our run up. So, RPM up to 1700. Do our flow this way again. Car peak goes out and back in. Oh, and see, and again, I'm just starting to do the taxi light thing. So we would have turned our taxi light on for the taxi, and now we turn it off since we're not taxiing again. And then we mag check, watch that drop, and back. 2 notches, watch that drop, and back. Primer is in and locked. Check our instruments, all of the things. And, oh yeah, our little ammeter and our vacuum pump. Flaps are up, mixtures in. Idle check. Okay. So then when we are ready, we can switch over to tower. And we let them know that we are ready to go. So, Lacrosse Tower, Cessna Hotel, Tree 1, Delta 1. Holding short 3-1, ready to go, Northwest VFR departure. And then, hello! And then they let us know, cleared for takeoff. Cessna Hotel, Tree 1, Delta 1. Maintain runway heading. Runway heading. Hello! How is it going? How's it going? Good to see you. We are about to take off for our practice, and I've already forgotten all of the things that we're supposed to be doing. Yeah. I'll have to check the notepad. We're starting with either a normal or short field takeoff and landing. So we'll do short field for now. Or normal for now. We'll do normal for now. Okay, since we have the whole runway. So, sorry, cleared for takeoff 3-1, Cessna Hotel Tree 1 Delta 1. So then, taxiway. Hello! Taxiway. Taxi light. Sorry, taxi light. Landing light. Ammeter, vacuum, flaps are up, mixture, throttle, carb heat, trim, and fuel. Clearing both ways. We were cleared, so we can go. So normal and or crosswind takeoff. So it's a normal takeoff since we have pretty much a headwind. We're following that center line. We're going to get onto the runway. And then at that point, we'll stop for a second, get ourselves situated, and then we throttle up. It's nice and smooth application of throttle, 1 to 2 seconds. Watching our engine instruments as well as our other instruments. Airspeed is alive. Using our rudder pedals to maintain center line. Looking for VR of 65. There it is. New. Nice and gentle application. Backward back pressure on that yoke. Alright, and now we keep our nose a little bit below the horizon so that we can maintain our scan of traffic as well as find something out in the distance to aim for to keep our track on that extended runway center line. We were at 655 for our elevation. Again, maintaining that scan. 655 plus 500 is 1155, so we can check our things again. So ammeter, flaps up, mixture, throttle, carb heat, trim, and fuel, plus our greens. See, and that's the thing, because in the plane that I fly, it's greens and then the rest of the stuff. So not starting with the greens makes me forget the greens. So that'll have to be something that I figure out. And let's check, how are we doing? Well, look at. Sorry. It's not like there's just a straight headwind or anything. But yeah, so we are climbing and we're maintaining runway heading and we are continuing and we will be out of, Delta airspace in a little bit. So, while that's going on, we can, talk about things, I suppose. We're going to want to... So flying with... this past week you went from a 182 to a 172. 182 will be back in the air in a few months. Ooh, after instrument panel is upgraded. What? Oh God, sorry. What did you think of the 172? Are you having fun? What is getting upgraded on the instrument panel? And yeah, I guess what differences have you noticed so far? So again, maintaining that climb can be hello. What up? I don't know if you're hanging out in here, if you're just having a good time yourself, but good to see you. Maintaining our runway center line. And we are passing out of... So we can call, they might let us know, or we can just do it ourselves. And say, La Crosse Tower, Cessna Hotel Tree 1 Delta 1, clear of Delta airspace to the northwest. And they'll be like, change to advisory frequency is approved. Have a good day. And we say, thanks. Have a good day yourself. Cessna Hotel Tree 1 Delta 1. All right. So then we can... So what happened... I have been practicing a certain way. I've been going up, getting as much altitude as possible. and then like doing the stalls, doing the performance maneuvers, things like that, emergency procedures, and then coming down using the steep spiral or emergency descent or something to come down to a ground reference maneuver altitude. We're going to turn this way. However, flying with most recent instructor, I gotta figure out what to call him. Flow instructor, maybe, I don't know. So he started us out doing ground reference maneuvers. So we stayed low, did the ground reference maneuvers, and then climbed up. And it was at that point that I realized I didn't do my clearing turn. Because again, I had gotten into that routine of getting to altitude first, doing the clearing turns, and then before the ground reference maneuvers, not having to worry about that, right? So yes. So I did do a clearing turn at that point, or do the clearing turns at that point. And I brought it up in the debrief, and he did say, yeah, he did make a note of that, but then I did it at the performance maneuvers, so then, but also, I've always heard that not doing the clearing turns can be part of the busting of the check ride. So, going to make sure we do that. That is the initial thing. That is the first thing you do all the time. No matter if you're doing performance maneuvers or ground reference maneuvers, before you start maneuvering in any way, clearing turns. So, and it's one of those things like, I know to do that, but again, that routine tripped me up. So you just started the upgrade. Yeah, we'll go up to 4,000. Just started the upgrade. The panel shell itself will be all new. Nice. We will be getting 2 Garmin G5s for attitude and heading indicators. Also be getting Garmin 750 GPS, Garmin 500, autopilot, and JPI EDM 900 engine monitor. That sounds awesome. So, is that just because you wanted it? Or is it for training usage? Or is it going to be nice for traveling and such? Like, what was the kicker to get you to actually get her done? All right, coming up on our altitude, once we hit that 4,000, which is what we said we were coming up to, so bringing that forward pressure on that yoke, letting that speed build up. As we do, we can trim to relieve control pressures while also bringing our throttle back. Cruise will be at 2,500, at least in the plane that I fly. Here, I think we bring it to like 24. And we're maintaining that heading. Nice, straight and level flight. We got ourselves a nice big tower over there. So we got that in sight. So you know what? Well, we'll keep ourselves wandering this way, keep that in sight. And then once we pass by that, I think we're going to head to the east. So first, I guess we will do our clearing turns. So we got that in sight. We know where it is. We are above it. So clearing turns, we want to make sure that before we're maneuvering in an area, we're taking a look around to see if there's any hazards or other traffic to watch out for. So we'll do a 90-degree turn to the left and then a 90-degree turn to the right, scanning under the lifted wing, 180 degrees per 90-degree turn for a total of 360 degrees of scan. So before we actually start our turn, we look under that wing first, see that we're not turning into anyone or anything. And then we start our turn. I feel like I need to bring this back a little bit. So starting that turn, scanning underneath that wing, maintaining that altitude. So mentally splitting that horizon into 10-degree segments and focusing on the center of each of those segments to bring any movement into focus. All right, we stopped on our 90-degree heading, finish out our scan. Then we, once again, final look underneath our wing, make sure we're not turning into anything or anyone. And scanning under our right wing that we lift here. No more than 30 degrees of bank for our clearing turns. Once again, 10-degree segments, focusing on the center of each one. Letting those eyes focus and actually see anything. Coming up on our 90 degrees. Rolling out, finishing off our 180 degrees of scan there. Hey, hey, blue side is up. So far, so good. So far. Hello, how is it going? All of the above, plus some of the instruments were going bad. Oh, like the number 2 radio didn't fully illuminate. So getting a new Garmin radio. Okay, that's absolutely fair. Nice. So it did. It all worked out where it's like you kind of wanted it, kind of needed it. So perfect timing. That's awesome. And sorry, did you say like when-ish? A few months. Oh, a few months. Ooh, okay. Fair enough. Well, for now, enjoy the 172. Do you got anything fancy in there, or is that the bare bones? Like the bare bones. Don't take that out of context. I mean bare bones VFR. Just so we're clear. Deciding on what to do with the rest of the night. So many options. How is it going with Ducky? Ducky is so far enjoying himself as well. We have not yet gotten to stalls, but he is excited for it. Oh, you know what? Okay, that now that you have said that, one of the things that I'm supposed to be doing and remembering, which I forget every friggin' time, is checking the winds aloft. So our winds were from the northwest lower, but aloft 3,000 and 6,000 is still from the northwest, so excellent. So that is what we will keep in mind for our when we need to be aware of wind stuff. Trim button. Okay, what we did a takeoff. We did a normal takeoff. That's what we did. Notepad. Normal takeoff we have done. So we need to do straight and turning descents. We'll do that in order to get down, potentially, maybe. So we'll start with our steep turns and chandelles, I guess. Steep turns, chandelles. Then we'll do our stalls. Instrument maneuvers, descents. Yeah, we'll get them. So steep turns, chandelles. That's what we'll do for now. Flight School 172 is all reliable. Yes, has a nice Garmin GPS and an Aspen Evolution attitude heading indicator and a nice engine monitor. Oh, nice. Okay. So it's still got some fancy stuff. It's funny. So you say the Aspen. Depending on if they have different ones, we got one of those in the 150 that I fly, and it went kaput recently. So that was fun, not having that, because, like, it's super nice. It's got all the stuff, and it's got, like, the little ticker tapes, and it's got the yeah. I'm not entirely sure what the specific terms are for each of the bits. But we also have an AV30, which is just like the little dial, but it has all of the same stuff on there. So that was interesting and actually kind of nice to have it right there, because the Aspen is right here, right? At least that's where ours is. It was right here, and then the dial was like right here. So from the right seat, it can be a little bit difficult to keep like that in the scan, right? Like properly being able to see it. And for the love of God, almost got another out of me. Okay, so we're gonna get back down to our freaking altitude. I am going to do things and say things and just okay. So yes, so it's nice to have it there, but being able to just use this little dial thing right here, it's just in a lot better of a visual placement area for the right seat. So I did miss the wind indicator on the Aspen though. Can you have it? Wouldn't that be nice? Management could cut a deal. Was I flying when the Aspen went out? No. I heard the story. Somebody flew to another airport and they called the owner of the plane and they're like, so hey, I can't remember what exactly. So it wouldn't, what happened was it wouldn't stay on. So you'd turn everything on and it would come on for a little bit, and then within a few seconds, it would shut itself off again. So I can't remember what exactly it was, but there was a little bit of a miscommunication, and the person who was flying said something like it might not have been specifically this, like the power wouldn't stay on. So the owner got concerned, like, are you going to be able to get back? Thinking it was all of the power, but no, it was just the Aspen. But yes, that was apparently quite concerning for a little bit until that misunderstanding was corrected. But no, I heard about it later. I think it was after my ferry flight, so I hadn't flown it in a while. So I come back to that, and I was so nervous. But of course, it's fine. It's always fine. But live and learn. Your scan needs to improve. It is. It's definitely a big thing, and I've actually kind of been potentially figuring out that some of my issues, I think, are because I'm like slightly turned like this to try to see the instruments. So my visual is a little bit off, you know, for the plane. Like when you're in the left seat, hang on, your instruments are right here, so you have like a sort of it's a nice flat visual. But then over here, since you don't have the instruments over here, again, you're supposed to be flying visually, but trying to also keep an eye on those instruments kind of creates a little bit of a yeah, just like a somewhat postural, somewhat visual thing. So that was fun to figure out. But yes, definitely always be working on the scan, including the external. Sweet. Orders pleasing management manual. There we go. Yes. It'll happen. It'll happen. I'm going to. I am. You know what? I am. I'm going to treat it like 2300. What my 172 likes. So we're going to go with the 23 and see if that helps at all. Okay, so steep turns. We work on and practice steep turns. So what the steep turns are is, hello, Mustafa, thank you for the ring. How is it going? How is your stream? What were you doing? Welcome. Good to see you. How are you? We're just about to start our maneuvers. Fighting with the airplane a little bit. Aviation chicken, yes. Aviation chicken greets aviation moose and company. Raid, 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 raid. Yes, how are you? Oh God, does the things properly. I promise I actually know how to fly things. I promise I'm better in an actual plane. There's the line. It's been a bit. Moose raid, flying the mega death, and coming down hard in Chicago. Oh no. How hard? Mega death hard? Or just a little bit? Hello, hello, and Chicken says hello as well. Interrogate them. I didn't I? How are you doing? Tell me the things. Explain. Continue. Yes, so, wow, didn't break anything. Negative 458. That's not bad. That's not bad. Oh, so much movement. I know. I'm sorry. I get excited and then I get really theatrical and just gesticulative. But I will smooth it out a little bit. I apologize. Nose is up a bit much. Well, again, I'm getting really upset as per usual. Oh, we need to turn around. Yeah, we're gonna turn. Hang on. We're gonna turn. You know what? And again, I was gonna try really friggin' hard to keep my altitude and my power and all of the things and not have to not be fussing with it so much. But it seems like it's just the way that it's gonna have to be. So we'll see. Oh God. We're gonna get ourselves back to south, then I'll get back to chat quick, then we'll do the things. Moose had a very smooth crash. Well, at least it was smooth. Nobody asked you. Technically, I asked general questions, so that was an answer to one of them. You get very easily motion sick sometimes. I'm so sorry. I will attempt to be better. I do. I get excited, then it goes, blah. Sorry. I will not demonstrate it. But no, absolutely understandable. I actually flew with a pilot who is a commercial pilot, works as a pilot, and he actually, not infrequently, gets sick in the plane, and that's just a thing that he has to deal with. So you're in good company. Oh no, broker! Why? How did I break? Oh, because I got excited. I know. I'm sorry. Hello. Yes. Happy you're here. It's better. Hello, dashboard duck. Yes, we will. We will get to the duck. He will make a vocal appearance once we get to our stalls. Just a slight landing glitch. You blame the bugged decor in the passenger section. Oh, yes? Okay. It's always good to have something to blame. And you have to close your eyes when it gets too much. You're guessing. He doesn't. Oh, yeah, he probably couldn't. Well, depending on the motion sickness, the things that we say for motion sickness in the aircraft, if your passenger or student is in the front seat, taking the controls, having their hands on the controls so they can feel that control, so their body has that understanding of what's actually going on, focusing outside of the aircraft rather than inside, because then that, sorry, I'm demonstrating the things and potentially making you motion sick. I'm sorry. When you're looking inside the aircraft too much, the motion that you feel is messes with your brain, so you have to be looking out and around to make sure that what you are feeling is matching what you are seeing, and therefore Yeah, your body isn't as confused. Fresh air. I would open the vents, but I don't think I can. But yeah, those things. The back of the plane was a pink nightmare. like the headsets. Oh god, I'm not gonna be able to do this properly. Like that, like the headsets and the pants. I can't see the pants. There's the pants. That sort of a pink nightmare? Oh, okay, I got you. I understand. You're guessing no one grabs their head and rapidly moves it around? Yes, probably not. You do. Yes, that pink nightmare. Oh, no. Well, that's absolutely fair. Okay, sorry. 1 second. We will do some maneuver since that's what you're here for. Okay. So we're getting steep turns. Steep turns are 360-degree turns at a steep enough bank angle that it demonstrates the overbanking tendency of the aircraft. So at and after a certain bank angle, the aircraft wants to keep banking in that direction. So in order to hold the bank angle that we want, have a constant bank angle at those higher bank angles, we will have to employ some opposite aileron input. It also demonstrates in an increased way, or in an exaggerated way, how more back pressure is required to increase that angle of attack to compensate for that loss of vertical lift in the turn. So you got your plane straight and level. Its lift is upwards. Once you start that turn, the lift is directed slightly to the side. You lose a little bit of that vertical lift. Your nose wants to come down. So you have to increase that lift by increasing angle of attack, bringing that back pressure in on that yoke, which increases the G's that you will feel and that the aircraft experiences. So yeah, that's steep turns. Okay, all right. Trying to make the motion signal. That's the goal. No, Agent of Chaos. Also fair. A pink checkered nightmare. You assumed it was an elk's head you were grabbing. Thank God the pink isn't glaring in your eyes inside. I'm surprised that it's not. Although I guess that might be part of the buttons. Depends on the time of night. That yes. Okay, so we're gonna do the 360-degree turn. So again, we will need more back pressure on our yoke as well as potentially more throttle. So to begin, we employ a little bit of left rudder in the direction of our turn. Once we hit about that 30 degrees, we're going to start potentially needing that increased back pressure. So we're looking out of our window. The horizon should meet our cowling at a certain spot and not leave it, and that angle should remain the same as we go. Removing that. It always happens so fast, and as I get into it, I remember all the things that I should have said beforehand. But yes, so that was our first steep turn. We got a little bit high in the first part of it because we started putting in some back pressure before it was fully necessary. Then we started to descend a little bit as our nose was coming down. We didn't have enough back pressure in there. So, yeah, keeping that in mind for our next one. So, and again, what I was getting to was when we get that angle in there, the horizon should meet the cowling at a specific point and stay there. And then that angle should, again, also stay the same. If it starts getting bigger, that means we are, so if the angle itself gets bigger, our bank angle is increasing. If it gets smaller, our bank angle is decreasing. If the, where the horizon is moves further to our right, that means we are nose down. If it moves further to our left, that means we are nose up. Sorry, I'll get back to south. Or we could just stay at east. And then, yeah, so we'll get back to our south, so then we can try it again to the right. So again, we can set ourselves up with our instruments, but we are visual pilots, so we should be keeping our eyes in or outside of the aircraft. It will help in smoothly and successfully executing the maneuver anyway. Okay, so while we're getting back up to freaking altitude because the trim button is stupid. Also, the other thing I was supposed to and was going to say is we are going to be doing it at 50 degrees because that is our standard for commercial maneuvers, and for Checkride, I have to be doing it to the commercial standard. Anything that has commercial standards, doing it to commercial standards. Anything that is just for the private will be to private standards, because those are the only standards, and I'm going to go insane. So yes, so 50 degrees is 45 is right in the middle here. This white line is 30 degrees. That white line is 60 degrees. So right in the middle is going to be 45 degrees. And then just a little bit past that will be 50 degrees. Or this orange, the little airplane here, the orange little airplane here, that is going to be just past this white line. Okay. Quick patch. Regular elk in case any European moose are watching. You gotta go eat food. Oh, I hope it is delicious food. Have a wonderful night, rest of your stream. Thank you for the raid. It was good to see you. And you also have a wonderful night, wonderful food, and a wonderful weekend. It is Thursday. Yes, always good to see you as well. And Asian Chicken. Goodbye. Good to see you. Fare thee well. I do need to figure out a voice for him at some point, but it hasn't happened yet. Oh God, oh no, we have to turn around again, because we're getting, actually we don't, because we're above the class delta. No, we'll turn to the east and do our steep turn that way. But yes, until next time, all the good things, have a great night, and yes, see you again soon. Chicken, don't eat the yellow snow, yuck. And yeah, the moose heart. Yes, we will go to the east, and then we will do our steep turn to the right. Yeah, that. Getting back. Oh, I was also, yeah. Cruise checklist, even if we are just doing our maneuvers. Okay, there. Now, stay where you're supposed to be. Stay. Oh my God. Going insane. Okay, so all those things for the steep turns. To the right, we're going to need more right rudder because of those, yeah, the left turning tendencies. So, more. Keep that rudder in, getting to that 50 degrees. Getting to that 50 degrees, that's going to start us descending. So keeping ourselves coordinated. And we started on east this time. Let's not forget it. Not getting too steep. As we have to bring that as we had to bring that back pressure in, we needed to decrease that bank angle, otherwise that increase in back pressure would continue increasing that bank angle further than we wanted. So We have to decrease the bank angle with the aileron as we put in that back pressure, because that back pressure is going to increase that bank angle on its own. So we ended up a little bit high on that one. We didn't quite get to we weren't quite at that 50 degrees of bank angle the whole time, so that made it so that our input back pressure wasn't, it was too much for that bank angle. So, so next time, making sure getting to that bank angle and only putting in the enough back pressure for the angle. I'm going insane. For the angle that we have. Shundels then, I guess. Shundel is our maximum performance 180 degree. Oh, any questions about the steep turns? Hello, how is it going? How's it going? Good to see you. We're going to do the Shundels. So maximum performance 180 degree turn. Yes. So what we do with that is, the example we give is, say we're flying along in the mountains and we are having a great time, but we come up into a box canyon where if we go any farther, we're not going to last any longer. So what we need to do is, we were safe where we're coming from, so we want to get back to that direction as well as climb. And getting back to that direction, making that turn and that climb in as little continued forward movement as possible, because we want to stay as far away from that box canyon as we can. Or the things that are going to hurt. So we're going to turn 180 degrees. We're going to have the first 90 degrees of the turn is going to be constant bank, increasing pitch. Second 90 degrees is going to be constant pitch, decreasing bank. So we're going to start out from cruise. It's going well. I hope it is going better. I won't pry, but yes, I hope it goes better soon. Or if it is going well-ish, I hope the well-er things continue and grow. That thing. Otherwise, attempting to be entertaining. So, the Shundeli, we will start from cruise, see how well this goes in this freaking aircraft where I can't hold freaking altitude or my freaking airspeed. Yes. So, starting box canyon. Oh no, we start our turn. Ignore the fact that we're not at a freaking altitude. Stupid. So, 30 degrees of bank right away. Power goes fully in. Slowly increasing that pitch to about 12 to 15 degrees. So now that pitch has to stay the same while our bank angle gradually decreases. So we're going to continue having to put in back pressure to maintain that constant pitch while we are decreasing that bank. Again, still maintaining, rolling out on that 180 degree point, right above that stall speed. And then we allow the nose to come down nice and gentle like, because we don't want to lose any of that altitude that we just gained. Once we get there, we can bring ourselves back into cruise. So allowing our speed, nosing down, holding that altitude with our yoke, allowing that speed to increase, bringing our power back, and trimming out for cruise. Moment when you mute your PC because you can't tell if the stream volume suddenly got louder or if it's an actual plane overhead. Was it an actual plane overhead? Still sore, okay, hoping to return to work soon. Okay, that's absolutely fair. But so doing better? I hope. And is the what do you have a timeline that you would like, or a timeline that is likely? Doing a Shendelly. We are doing the Shendelly. We will do another one to the right. There were a couple things that we didn't quite. Oh my god. My inability to control. I promise. I'll say even in the 150 that I fly in real life now, I've gotten much better control of that aircraft. But this one, for some reason, I cannot. But it's fine. We'll just a little bit. Okay. Yeah. A very strong buzz. Oh, next week possibly. Okay. Oh, that's good. That's good. Fingers crossed. Hope so. Well, just, yes, keep taking care of yourself. Taking it easy as much as possible. And getting better. And we will be thinking about and crossing our fingers for you. Positive vibes. Yes, so there were a couple of things in there. The pitch. As we were coming around, the pitch was decreasing just a little bit, which when that happens, you don't get as much performance out of that maneuver. Speed starts to increase, so that creates a greater radius for that turn, which again we don't want because we are in a box canyon. We don't run into anything. So, oh my god, we're just freaking climbing this stupid trim button. I don't know how to get it to where I want it to be. Sorry. Okay. All right. Shendal to the right. This one will require more right rudder because, again, left turning tendencies, especially at that lower speed, high angle of attack. So, okay. So we'll get down to our 5,500 so we can actually get a proper freaking gauge, hopefully, maybe. Ugh. So, we're at our cruise, we're at our altitude. We start our turn, get ourselves to that 30 degrees of bank, hold that bank while increasing our pitch. We put our throttle full in, gradually increasing our pitch all the way to that 90-degree point, holding that pitch. As we decrease that bank, that pitch wants to come out. But we just need to keep holding it, keep holding it, keep holding it. Nope, not yet. Not yet, duck. Not yet, ducky. So we held a little bit. Well, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about it once we actually get to that point. Coordinating with that right rudder, rolling out with our pitch where it's supposed to be, holding that pitch, gently bringing it down, keeping all of that gained altitude. Okay, so what happened there is we had a bit too much pitch throughout the first part of the second 90-degree turn. So that got us a little bit too far. It dropped that speed a little bit too fast, so we didn't reach that full 180 degrees before reaching that stalling point. We made sure to keep ourselves from actually stalling, but being smoother, more gentle on the controls, as well as being at a proper pitch angle for that maneuver will be helpful. So, okay. You've been skiing a lot, though. That doesn't sound very restful. But it's good, though? I hope so. I mean, I can't be mad. Because, I mean, even if it's not restful, it is enjoyable, even in a non-restful way. So I'm trying to think of what else there was in there. It was pretty much, it was a little too aggressive on the pitch. So maintaining that, again, 12 to 15 degrees of bank is kind of that sweet spot. Okay, so we did our chandelles. Can't work, might as well ski. I mean fair. I mean fair. When you put it like that. Well, I'm glad you've been getting that time in then. Did our we could do our stalls. You know what? We're gonna do our fundamentals of flight, actually, the straight turning descents, and then we're gonna do our stalls, and then we'll do our recovery from unusual flight attitudes. Okay, all right, here we go. So, descents, straight descents, and turning descents. So descents, despite what we might think, we don't just push our yoke forward, because that increases our speed. So unless we want to be at that higher speed for that descent, what we want to do is we want to bring power out first. So we can bring that to the bottom of the green arc, and then that will let our nose start coming down, let our descent begin. And then what we can do is figure out constant speed descent or constant rate descent. We'll go with a constant speed descent. So let's go with a 90 knot, I guess, descent. So we can trim out for that 90 knots, I guess, again, in this aircraft. If we are descending too quickly, we can increase that power while maintaining that 90 knot descent. And then if we, at that 5,500, if we want to add a turn into it, we just got to make sure that we have more loss of lift. So we may need to add more power in for that as well. We don't want to get too aggressive with our bank angle on our turns, because that can put us into unusual attitudes, which we are going to be talking about coming up. Luckily, we're visual at this point, but it's just a lot for the aircraft to handle. It might be a lot for us to handle. So keeping our bank somewhat shallow if we are deciding to turn and descend. We'll get down to 4,500, then we'll do our stalls. And yeah, not trimming out, not holding that constant speed if that is what we were doing. Not rolling out on our heading that we wanted. And then not increasing that power. So once we get to that point to level out, we increase that power to regain that lift and hold our altitude. You want to take the plane out soon, but you can't push the plane around yet. There's probably helpful people. If you get to come along, you'll push it. Perfect. Usually have an empty seat. There we go. See? I do. This is why I just love aviation people, because we just love planes. As long as we get to talk about planes, be in planes, look at planes, we would also like to help you with your planes. All right, so we're on our south. Is this where we want to go? Yes, I think we will. We will. So we're at our 4,500 and attempting very desperately to be at a decent. Why? I have power almost full in. I didn't do anything to the trim, but this is the way it is. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Okay. Just a tiny bit, yes. Oh my god, okay, when did that, okay. Sorry, the notepad. How long has that been up? I'm sorry, maybe it seemed like it was supposed to be there. It was not. Hello, you, good to see you. We're just about, gosh darn it, we're just about to get some ducky action. I just need to get to the 4,500 and hold it. And then we will do our stalls. We'll do our power off stall, so we'll do a little bit of slow flight as well. Cool people where? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Aviation people are the coolest people. Have I ever been skiing? I have a long time ago. And I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it, but I haven't. I haven't in a while. Oh god. I mean, I could say I'm hypermobile, and I've been told that I'm not supposed to do things like that, like ski, which obviously makes me want to do the things again. But yeah. So it's like yeah. So technically, I'm probably not supposed to do the things like that. We won't talk about the hard landings in small airplanes, but I don't know. At some point, I'd probably like to again, just to be like, no. But yeah. Assume you wanted the notepad up. I didn't. Cause it's not even the full notepad, so you can't even see the full thing of it. But oh well. Stop caring about being cool a long time ago, which automatically makes you cool. Isn't that how it goes? The less you desire to be cool, the more cool you become. All right, so I guess we're getting up to 5,000 freaking feet because I can't keep this thing under control. I promise, I fly better in an actual plane. For some reason, I don't. I cannot. All right, we're just going to start at 4,800. And we're going to do our stalls. So stalls, not an engine stall. These are aerodynamic stalls. So the relative wind flowing around the wings, the airfoils of the aircraft create lift. So what happens with a stall is the air along the top of the wing is not able to flow smoothly over it. So it becomes turbulent and therefore causes a loss of lift in the wing. So for our power off stall, we give the example of if we are coming in for a landing, we're coming up on the runway and we got our power out, we're all configured, and we're coming up short of the runway. Instead of adding power, which is what we should do, we think, oh, we'll just increase our angle of attack to increase lift, right? Wrong, because we don't have that excess power to actually put into creating that lift. So what we do is we are increasing our angle of attack and simply slowing our speed to a point where the wind, again, cannot smoothly flow over the wing, detaches from it, we lose lift, stall. So yeah, so that's why we do it. We will configure for it. So again, we will configure for a landing since that is our example. So bringing it down to 1900, carb heat comes out. Within the white arc below, I think, in the plane that I fly 100 miles per hour, we can bring in a notch of flaps. Below 90 miles per hour, we can bring in a second notch of flaps. We are holding that altitude with our yoke, maintaining our heading, letting that speed come down, I think at about, actually I have the things, oops, We are in slow flight. Yay. At 70 miles per hour, like we are on final. We're going to trim for a 500 foot per minute descent, at which point we bring our throttle out, bring the nose just above the horizon, and then keep bringing that back pressure. The yoke keeps coming back while we still hold just that pitch attitude. Increasing that back pressure, holding that pitch attitude. There's the brake. So we decrease that angle of attack, increase that throttle. Carb heat goes out. First notch of flaps goes out. And then we pitch for our VY. Once we are at a steady climb, we can bring that second notch of flaps out. So again, in order to get out of that stall, we first have to reduce our angle of attack, increase that power to gain that extra lift, get our aircraft reconfigured, carb heat out, flaps out to gain that extra performance, and pitching for our best rate of climb, because if we're near the ground, we want to gain as much altitude as possible in the least amount of time. Yes. So a couple things that we could have done a little bit better, a little bit smoother in our back pressure application for that stall. We had a little bit of a hint of a secondary stall there. It didn't get too deep into that one, but we needed a little bit more increase in angle of attack, a little bit faster increase in throttle. Could have configured a little bit faster too, but mouse and buttons are a thing. But yeah, we got back to our heading, got back to our altitude, I think. Did we start on 5,000? So yeah, that was that one. Accelerated stall, yay! Take the plane, fly it out there, and you'll get a ticket. Oh, it is tempting. It is tempting. I'd say potentially after Checkride, but at that point, it's starting to get where skiing. There's no material for the skiing. There won't be material for the skiing. That'd be fun. Is there a proper name for the eye movement tracker thing, by the way? This thing, Track IR. I have the Pro version, which is it sits right here. It clips to your headset here. And then if you don't opt for the Pro, it has like a little thing that sits there. But yes, Track IR, and then the Pro version. You got a view to hand out. Tempting. I think the most popular ones are Track IR, Tobii Eye Tracker, and Track Hat. I haven't heard of Track Hat. I've heard of the Tobii. But yes. The season is gonna end fast. I didn't think about that. I've been excited that it's starting to get like, yeah, it's just kind of nice. It's just kind of nice. But that's less nice, I guess. Darn it. Track IR is the best thing for the sim. Hello, by the way. How's it going? Yes, it is. It's super nice. Because then you're not using the mouse and having to do that thing, coordinate that. You're just able to look as you would and adjust. And there's a lot more that you can do with it. I should calibrate it better, but I just haven't. So yeah, it is. It's excellent. Last February, when you were in Colorado, your cousin said that there was a lot less snow in the mountains than usual. Oh no! Fair enough. Like an alien antenna. Yes, a singular alien antenna. Absolutely. I like that. Okay, accelerated stall, I think, was our notepad thing, right? Accelerated, yeah. Accelerated stall. So accelerated stall is... there's a lot of other things that I can say too, like feel how mushy the controls are and how you need a lot more input to actually get the aircraft to do what you want it to do. You're very well, I guess this is specifically for slow flight, but you're very close to that stall speed, so any abrupt movements could trigger that stall horn and even a stall. So make sure you're being very smooth on the controls. But yeah, so accelerated stall is, we use that to demonstrate that the aircraft doesn't just stall at those low notated stall speeds. The aircraft can stall at any airspeed, and we will demonstrate how. So let us say we are going base to final, and we notice that we overshoot, and we try to get ourselves back on to our final by putting in a really not nice steep bank in order to get that turn in quick. And we will notice that if we don't keep our nose coming down, we have that nose up a little bit, we will notice that our aircraft will stall at a higher speed than we might expect. So we'll get ourselves configured. I'm sorry. We're flying. We're at here, and we configure. So bring it down to 1900. Bring our carb heat out. We're going to leave our flaps out. We are so behind the plane. We overshoot final. We don't have our flaps in. We hold that yoke back so that we decrease that speed, holding our altitude. And once we get below that 75 miles per hour, whatever it is in knots, we'll go with the 70, I think. So then we're going to, power goes out. We're going to increase that bank. We're going to let that nose come down a little bit so that we can get to that 45 degrees of bank, and then bring that nose up. There it is. So if you notice, we stalled at an airspeed. Hang on. Angle of attack. Bring that down, nose down that little bit, level the wings, throttle goes up. And then we pitch for VY. Carb heat goes out to get that extra performance. And we get ourselves into the upwind, come back around, and do a hopefully proper landing. So yes, I'm not sure if you guys were able to see, but we did. Our stall horn came on around like there, rather than down here. So that is our accelerated maneuver stall. I think I didn't, again, it's really necessary to do those things at the right speeds, because otherwise, if you do it too early and you have too much speed, it becomes way too aggressive of a stall. So it required like that steep angle of bank, and then like a way more nose up pitch than I would have liked. So definitely could have gotten a little bit slower there. And then, yeah, recovery could have been faster. And yeah, other than that, we did it. We got to our 45 degrees of bank and our stall. So yay. Okay. I actually have 6 legs underneath. You can't tell them that. Shh, shh. That's a secret. You use it so much that even when you're watching videos of people in the sim, you unconsciously move your head to look around. That's so funny. I love that. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna have to kind of like notice that now. I wonder if maybe I do that too. I just haven't. It's just so subconscious. That's so funny. Need to attach it to the daily boppers? Yes. Do so many things like that. If it wasn't for man-made snow, most resorts There would have been screwed. Well, that's good then. So, like, how available and useful? Not useful. I don't know what word I'm trying to think of. I don't know how the man-made snow works. Oh God, we need to. Oh, we are turned to the north. Perfect. That worked out. What conditions are required for the man-made snow? Like, I assume you can't do it in the actual, or like, are there different types where you can do it in like when it's really hot and still have a type of snow that still works, or no? Better than dirt, that's fair. 65 knots? Okay. Yes, I think, yeah, we definitely could have gone a little bit lower on our speed then. I've been working on that particularly, getting those speeds right for the stalls, because that was one of the things on the one flight that I had that wasn't that great last week that I just couldn't get, and it was definitely getting those speeds really correct. Okay, so we did those things. Unusual attitudes we'll talk about. I did that with substitute instructor, I could say for now. So sub instructor, we talked about unusual attitudes. We didn't super get into them. We more talked about them a little bit. So, and there were some different things. There were some different techniques that he used than I had learned. So, I guess, yeah, the main thing for the unusual attitudes is if you're is looking at if so unusual attitudes are for our instrument training. I'm sorry, instrument training first. We're going to start there. Instrument training as a VFR pilot, so private pilot, does not allow us to fly on instruments on an instrument flight plan. We are not instrument rated. Instrument training as a VFR pilot is simply to, if we get into a situation where we need to fly by instruments, such as if inadvertent flight into IMC, flying at night, maybe with a few ground lights, flying over featureless terrain or still water. Those situations might get us disoriented, and if we use our training and get onto our instruments, we can get ourselves reoriented, get ourselves out of that IMC that we got ourselves into. So when we practice for unusual attitudes, if we've accidentally gotten into that IMC, getting onto our instruments and getting ourselves out of that situation. Some aircraft, the attitude indicators are nice blue and brown one. They can tumble. This one particularly can tumble, so we cannot necessarily use that right away for our recovery. So we need to be looking at our airspeed indicator and our altimeter primarily, as well as the other ones, cross-checking the other ones as well. So if we were to see I'll see if I can I'll see if I can go like so, go like so. If we are, speed is increasing, altitude decreasing, power goes out, and we level our wings first and then bring our nose up just to that horizon. And then once we get ourselves sort of reoriented, then we can add our power back in, get our climb back in to the altitude that we would like to be at, as well as get back to the heading that we would like to be at. If, however, we get into we're in cruise, say, and we get into altitude's increasing, speed is decreasing, Then we have to get that nose down, level our wings. So nose down, right to the horizon. Power is full, wings are level. Then we cross-check our instruments, get ourselves back to the altitude we would like to be at, as well as our heading. So again, we don't want to focus too much on one instrument because we might, we neglect other instruments, like if we are focusing on our altimeter and we don't notice that we are going in circles, that can actually make us, we're likely not going to be holding a steady altitude if we're going in circles. So if we're trying to hold that steady altitude while going in circles, it's going to be difficult, and it can actually put us into those unusual attitudes and dangerous situations. So making sure we're not neglecting any instruments, focusing too much on any one, making sure that what we're seeing in one jives with what we see in another, and really get the full picture of what our aircraft is doing when we can't see outside. So yeah, that was that then. Not sure the exact conditions, but temperature and humidity are crucial. Okay, all right, sounds good. Usually made by blowing a fine mist through a venturi to freeze the water and cover a hillside. That's so cool. Okay, so it does need to be the same conditions for ice to normally form. There's just no clouds or precipitation involved. Okay, sounds good. You need to go shower, sounds good, in case we end before you get back. Well, depending on how long of a shower you take, I don't know. I won't ask, sorry. That was strange. Yes, we will probably be here for a little bit longer. We got some stuff to do yet. So probably see you after. Have a good cleaning. And yes, best wishes on everyone's day. May the force be with everyone. Fist bumps. Yes. Absolutely. Yes. Thank you for being here. Always good to see you. Potentially see you again in a little while. And yes, have a good night if we do not see you later. Okay, so did our unusual attitudes. We did our fundamentals of flight. You should go. Sounds good. Probably gonna ski some more tomorrow. Absolutely fair. Nice. All right. So good night. Good night. It was good to see you. It was good chatting with you. Hope you feel even better. Keep feeling better. And yes, keep feeling even better. Have fun skiing. Enjoy your time off. And yes, fingers crossed and positive thoughts for the healing. And yeah, all the good things. So until next time, good night, good night. So we'll check our notepad again, our checklist. We have done our first takeoff, straight and turning descents, steep turns, chandelles. We need to do our ground reference maneuvers. We've done our stalls, recovery from unusual flight attitudes, emergency. So yeah, so I guess our emergency is next. Shoot, I'm trying to remember what he had me do. So sub instructor. I think he just said, I don't know, smoke starts. Hello. Thank you for the follow, Velcatar. Appreciate it. Thank you for putting up with me and my shenanigans. Like I said, I promise I fly better in an actual plane. I should have said this earlier. Okay, so disclaimer below. First off, I am a pilot in real life. I am commercially rated. Currently working on my I guess I could technically say I'm a commercial pilot now, since I've been doing, like, I'm not just commercially certificated. I am a commercial pilot because I've been doing the ferry flights. But yeah, so currently working on becoming a CFI, a certificated flight instructor, getting to the end of that training. So hopefully that's the ability is kind of coming through. But yes, so this is not actual instruction. I'm just working on my flows and getting the maneuvers down. So that's the story here. That's what we're currently working on. But again, not instruction. So emergency. So engine fire, what would we do? We would cut the mixture, throttle, fuel, mixture, throttle, fuel, and then we would conduct emergency descent. Yes, emergency descent. So, that goes out. We'll put our carb heat on since we're doing the thing. So we are pitching for between 30 and 45 degrees. Sorry, banking 30 and 45 degrees. Oh, that would be a very bad pitch. 30 and 45 degree pitch. Pitching for between maneuvering speed and right above that yellow line. Because we are trying to get to the ground as quickly as possible, as well as putting that potential fire out. The other thing is it doesn't need to be a fire for an emergency descent. Could be a medical emergency, trying to get to the ground as quickly as possible. So yeah, there's that thing. I saved my best work for IRL. Yes, absolutely. That's what it is. Hello, how are you? Good to see you. So yeah, we'll recover from that. We'll keep going this way, I think. But I do. I promise. Especially getting some more like directed, really, what word am I thinking of? Really precise practice in recently was very helpful. Again, in real life, not in this. Maybe if I practiced more precisely more in here, I'd be more precise in general. That sounds about right. So, yes, so that was that. We can bring our carb heat out. But let's say oh darn. Let's say we, engine failure. Oh no. We'll bring our carb heat out again. Pitch for best glide, which in this one is, I don't know, 65, 60. And then we're gonna aim for the road up there, because we have the glide distance for it, and it is a large road, so we can either land on it or on the median. Otherwise, there are some areas as well. Ooh, hang on. There are some fields coming up next to it that we can also use in case we end up coming up short. So we're also looking to the sides to make sure there aren't any other areas that might be better. What do I fly commercially? 172s. So yes, I am not an airline pilot. I can get paid to fly certain aircraft. Airplane, single engine, land. And I've been doing some ferry flying, and that is my commercial experience. So like, hello, what up? I'm almost wanting to actually plop down into there. So I have made a decision, I think, because first it's not looking like we're actually going to make it to that road, because our glide distance keeps decreasing right below it. So we are actually going to aim for this road here. Our wind is from the north, so we're going to spiral like so. Probably should have done this to the left, so we're gonna do like that turn. Still maintaining our best glide. Don't want to get into these trees. So, oop, 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 gentle, oop, nope, nope, nope. Bringing the nose down, bringing the nose down, bringing the nose. Gentle, 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 gentle. There. Likely gonna probably, hang on. We might slip it. So yes, we were aiming for that, oh god, that road there, that little stretch of road right there. If we need to, we can end up in that field. And we're going to recover. However, what we would have done is we would have, what's the word? We would have committed to the landing once we were certain of it. Then we would, if we hadn't already cut all of our reconfigure. If we hadn't cut all of our mixture, our fuel, our throttle, all of that, we would bring those out. Once we no longer needed flaps, our electricity, all of those things would come off, mags off, master off, pop the door, and then fly it through that landing. So yes, I think we would have survived. We could have slipped it. I didn't want to. Hello! Okay, now I can. How's it going? Ben Bebop! Sorry, that's fun. Yes, so things that could have been done differently. I guess so I was aiming for those roads. It was kind of on the edge of my glide circle. So real life doesn't always lend itself to the best circumstances. So if it's right on the edge there, it's not likely that you're actually going to make it. So definitely could have decided against that a little bit earlier and picked a different spot earlier. But we made it ish. Could have made it ish, I hope. So now ground reference maneuvers in spots where it seems like there's not a lot of great options for that, but we'll make it work. So in this area, let's first check out this area. It's about 780, so 800 feet. So 1,600 feet is what's going to be for our 8s on pylons. So 8s on pylons is the most complex ground reference maneuver. And that is because we're constantly changing attitude throughout the maneuver. We're very low to the ground. So if we lose our engine, we don't have a whole lot of glide distance, so we need to be able to touch down somewhere. I think I have where we're going. I don't know how well this is going to work, because northwest is slightly like that. So we're going to go into the upwind. We're going to hope for the best. Again, I hate taking a long time to find these things, because it always ends up not being that great of what we find anyway. So we're gonna try to make this work. We're gonna fly upwind. We wanted our points to be about 3/4 to a mile apart at the same elevation. So 8s on pylons introduces the concept of pivotal altitude, which is that in a constant bank turn, there is an altitude for every ground speed that points on the ground along a reference line, the objects will appear to be stationary. As you're turning around the point, however, in that constant bank turn, you will notice that while the wind will be adjusting your speed, your ground speed, so you will need to climb and descend to that pivotal altitude. Okay, so first point is there, second point is that one over there. So 30 degrees from our reference line, we're at our, a little bit higher, sorry, 30 degrees from our reference line, we turn towards our midpoint between the points, so that we end up about a quarter mile downwind of our first point. Boom, once we are abeam, we input our bank angle. If the point is back of our reference line, we need to climb to our pivotal altitude. Then, again, it's still a little bit behind, so we continue our climb. Now it's getting forward, so we can start descending for it. And then now we're coming around our point, straightening out, leveling out, aiming back for our midpoint. Using our crosswind corrections so that we end up downwind of our second point. Oh God. We're gonna see what happens. This is not what I want. We're winging it. Okay. Oh, there it is. All right. So we got off a little bit, so we're gonna see what happens. That was terrible. Our point is a little ahead of our wing, so we'll aim for the midpoint now. I'm not entirely sure. Well, no. I know what happened. So, this is why it's very essential to pick good points, visible points, because the wind, we didn't properly correct for wind, and so it became difficult to find our points, especially because they were hidden amongst trees, and that got us off. So yeah, that's my explanation, but also that was terrible. So we also, I think we were directly in line with the wind, kind of, rather than. All right, you know what? We're gonna try one more time. Wind is coming from that way, so we want to be upwind. And we're going to use that road there. And the edge of those trees there. Or, hang on. Yeah, edge of those trees, that green. Okay. Let's try that again. So 1,800 feet. We're going to find that road. We're coming upwind again. We're getting to our, what should be our highest pivotal altitude. So we calculate our pivotal altitude. Actually, so we're aiming for our midpoint. We're actually going to have that be the edge of these trees be our first point. So, point, boom. Oop. So it's a little bit behind, or a little bit ahead, so we nose down a little bit as we are decreasing our ground speed as we're coming into that headwind. Still ahead. Decreasing that altitude, getting to that proper pivotal altitude. Maintaining that bank as we come around and start getting into that tailwind a bit more. We level our wings. We should be back to our highest pivotal altitude. Finding our second point again. There it is. Correcting for wind to make sure we end up again 30 degrees from our reference line, about a quarter mile downwind of our point. Once we get a beam, we bring it in, boom, slightly ahead. So we decrease our altitude, maintaining that bank as it's coming backward. We start increasing our altitude again. Starting to come forward, so we decrease that altitude again. And as we come back around, we level ourselves off and exit the maneuver the way we entered it, downwind, 45-ish degree angle. That was better, but still not great. It is. It makes it so much easier with fields that are nicely laid out and have roads leading up to them so that you can find them easily. And I think for some reason too, I do have a problem with recognizing things in the sim. I'm not quite sure what it is. So yeah, also it is having the straight and level, the straight level lines that are east and west and north and south help a lot as well, because you can end up finding straight lines that end up not being with the wind direction that you want, and that's always fun. Pivotal altitude is a really cool concept. Never thought about it that way before. Yes, it is fun. So like with turns around a point, you're holding your altitude and just adjusting your bank angle. Oh God, what have I done? Sorry. You end up just adjusting your bank angle to adjust for wind. But then, yeah, the 8-on pylons, that pivotal altitude is the complete opposite, where you are holding your bank angle and adjusting with your altitude. And yeah, it is. It's a lot of fun. It's fun too. One of the things when I was doing my ground lesson for that is when you are, so you're at your, when you're at your, hang on, I'll see if I can. So you're at a pivotal altitude, right? And if you need to descend, not only are you descending to that pivotal altitude, you're also increasing your airspeed, which brings that pivotal altitude up to you. So it's a double correction. And then the opposite, if you are climbing to your pivotal altitude, you are climbing to that pivotal altitude while also reducing your speed, which brings that pivotal altitude down as well. So yeah, that was a particular point of interest for me for that concept. Yes, so 8s on pylons were quite terrible. Again, I'm not in real life. I'm not. I'm not terrible at them, I promise. But it is. I feel for people who don't have the nice, easily spotted, easily followed references. So yeah. We're gonna use, I think, this. We're aiming what way? Yes, this way. So, getting into the downwind. Rectangular course. I'm gonna try to just use this. I do. I find it a lot easier to find things, find places to, what's the word? Reference points in real life than I do in The Sims. So I don't want to spend a whole lot of time looking. Apologies. So, all right, rectangular course helps us to understand and better perform in the pattern. What we're doing there is, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So we find ourselves a rectangular reference. We fly upwind of it, and then about a mile upwind, we can turn back in order to enter the downwind leg of our reference rectangle. Enter the downwind of our reference rectangle at about a 45-degree angle. And we're trying to maintain a straight track, or the goal is to maintain a straight track around the rectangle, correcting for wind by crabbing, having our nose into the wind in such a way that even if our the airplane itself is not tracking straight along our reference, the actual track that we create along the ground is. So, around in here, again, we are at about 800 feet for elevation. So, 1800 is our pattern altitude, the altitude we want to be at for this maneuver. So we're entering a 45-degree for our midfield, which is, I'm using that road. And then we make ourselves a turn so that we can track our reference line out the side. We are getting pushed, so we're going to crab in a little bit this way. Beam our rectangle. I'm sorry, I'm doing really terribly at maintaining the altitude, but sorry. I'm not good in this aircraft, or in the sim anyway. And for this turn, we are going to be slightly crabbed this way, and we're already through our base leg. So I guess we will use this as a reference line. It was a slightly greater than 90-degree turn, and now this one is also a slightly greater than 90-degree turn, so that we are crabbed into that wind. It's slightly, again, to the northwest. So we just have to be pointed in such a way that we are correcting for that push. So then this next turn, we're going to have less than 90 degrees of turn, even though, again, it is a rectangle, because we need to be crabbed into, have our nose into that wind to correct. So our nose is slightly facing that way so that our line goes straight that way. Got a little bit too much crab in there. I want to say my the last time I flew, we are at beam our corner, so it'll be again slightly less than 90 degrees because we need to be crabbed a little bit that way again. And once we hit our midfield, we exit the same way that we entered. Well, slightly opposite the way we entered, so 45 degrees out from our midfield. So the hello, Coconut Man 2103. Thank you for the follow. I apologize for myself. I promise I do better in an actual plane. But yes, we'll going to have to head out. Sounds good. Very late for sleep. Yes, I absolutely understand. Thank you so much. Good to see you. Hope you have a good night. And have a great weekend. And hope to see you again soon. Until next time, all the good things. So yes, we won't even talk about our altitude. But no, that's one of the things, that's one of the reasons why we practice this, is so that we do maintain that proper altitude, because in the pattern you want to hit those altitudes, hit those speeds really well, so you have a nice stable approach. So practicing the rectangular course is good for getting those things down without having to worry about the configuring and everything of the aircraft. And yes, definitely the crab, we will go over that on a little nav map. It was not what it should have been. It was not what it could have been. But again, as I was about to mention, my last practice, my patterns were pretty square. So I will admit, my crosswinds and my base legs, I end up like drifting out. I kind of make little bean patterns. But cuz I still have this thing. I know it's one of those things that bothers me. It's one of those little things where I feel like I should be better at this by now. But you work on so many things that some things kind of, unfortunately, slip through the cracks a little bit, which is why I've enjoyed doing this training, because you have to be a lot more precise. So, yeah, that initial, when starting training, that wanting to have the airplane pointed in the direction that you're going, right? So on that crosswind, on that base, I want my nose pointed in the direction of where I'm going. So I'm not thinking about that the wind is pushing me. So then I end up just kind of like drifting around rather than doing nice turns, you know? So yeah, working on that, getting more precise with that. I think we are landings now. I think. Let me look. Notepad. Yes. All right, back to the airport. Ayo. Where is it? Okay, turning. Direct to. Shoot. Direct to. I don't know what it is, but for some reason, ForeFlight likes to adjust the little things that I have down here. There's like a little bar of different things, like the estimated time en route to next, estimated time en route to destination, ground speed, GPS altitude, track, distance to next. And I set it up the way that I wanted it to be. And then for some reason it decides to change it. Although it might be just because I was this way and not this way. That could be. Okay. So, we're gonna quick get the weather. Metar. We had Kilo, so we'll be on, Lima. Lacrosse. Lima, Sierra Echo, the 23rd at 0553 Zulu. Yes, I think we are good there. No, another one's coming out again. Automated. 310 at 8 knots, so we'll be landing 31 again. 10 statute miles, clear of clouds, 2 degrees Celsius, minus 2 degrees for our dew point, 2976. I think that was the same one. Remarks AO2 differentiates precipitation. We are flying the wrong direction. This is why. Keep your head outside the aircraft. Sea level pressure 1008.2 millibars. Temperature 2.2 degrees Celsius minus, with that one, 2.2 degrees Celsius for our dew point. I don't know what this one, or this one are. This one, I believe, is a pressure change. But yes, these ones I am unsure about. Okay, so we're on our way. We're at 12 nautical miles east, and we want to do stop and goes. We are going to short field landing, short field takeoff. Potentially slip it on that one, or we will slip on our normal landing, maybe. We'll see. All right, so we call up again saying who we're talking to, who we are, where we are, what we want. And in this case, the weather. So we are, oh, and what altitude we're at, since we are in the air. So we're at 3,000. So Lacrosse Tower, Cessna Hotel Tree 1 Delta 1, 10 miles east at 3,000. Inbound for stop and go with Lima. And then they'll be like, from this direction, they might set us up for a right base. But for our purposes, we're gonna say they're gonna let us cross the field to enter a left downwind for 3-1. Unless, you know what? We should practice it, shouldn't we? They're gonna tell us to do a right base for 3-1. Okay. So, right base. They'll, and then let them know. Or, you know what? I'm trying to figure out if they would. I'm trying to do it realistically. I don't do a lot of the tower flying, so I'm not sure. I do. I think they would give us the base, and then they would say report 2-mile base, 2-mile right base for 3-1. So, yeah. 2-mile right base. Runway 31, Cessna Hotel, Tree 1, Delta 1. So, again, our elevation is 655. Our pattern altitude would then be 1655. So we're going to start descending. And we'll talk about the short field takeoff, I guess, or short field landing as well. C glumps. We have our taxi landing light on. Mixture is full rich. Flaps are up. Throttle's good. Carb heat. Trim for takeoff. Fuel. Oil pressure. Temperature. All right. So we are descending. Short field. Short field landing is if we have to land in an area or airport that is very confined and or has obstacles in our approach path. So we need to be able to come in on a steep descent as well as be able to stop within a reasonable distance. So we will try that on for size. With sub-instructor last week, he did with an obstacle and without an obstacle for the landing. And it is it's funny because he used my home airport as an example, and it's like I've come in there how many times? That's where I started out at, and for some reason I just had difficulty coming in short. So I definitely need a lot more practice. Hang on. My thing said 500 feet AGL. I'm definitely at 1,000. 1,700. This is 655. So I suppose it must be the higher elevation around. Maybe. All right, we're aiming for a right base. Yeah, so I think I've gotten a little bit. It was nice. It was nice starting out at my home airport, because it's like if you can fly into or out of there, you can fly into and out of anywhere. But I think I've gotten a little bit too cozy with the longer runways. So I am going to have to start practicing that some more. We're gonna kind of come this way a little bit more to get ourselves set up straighter for that base. All right. Lacrosse Tower, Cessna Hotel, Tree 1, Delta 1. 2 mile, right base, 3-1. And then they would say, clear to land, 3-1. And then we would say, clear to land, 3-1. Cessna Hotel, Tree 1, Delta 1. All right, so we're on a base. We are coming in for a short field landing, so we need to start configuring ourselves. Carb heat comes out. Power is out to 1900. Below 100 miles per hour, or within the white arc, or I should say slash within the white arc. We bring first notch flaps in, and since we are on our base, we're gonna bring that power in just a little bit more. Once we get a little bit further along our base, we'll throw our second notch flaps in. Is this the Cessna 172? It is the Cessna 152. I have a thing, a command, because it is a special 172. Sorry, 152. It's a special 152 that, if you like it, well, you should just try it anyway. Well, one second. Let me land here, and we will all go over that. So, got our second notch of flaps in on base, third notch of flaps in on final. We're coming in. We're kind of dragging this one in, so we're going to kind of level off a little bit. And then we're just going to drop it in. All right, so carb heat, fuels on both, undercarriage is fixed, mixture flow rich, power propeller pump, safety seatbelts, and security. All right, so we are above the trees that we need to be above. And now we drop it. Don't be afraid to drop it. Keep that. We're going to add a little bit of power here. Just gliding. Oops, gentle, 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 gentle. There it is. And then we get that firmly there. Flaps go up. That wasn't terrible. It wasn't best, but now we are going to do a short field takeoff. We're slightly off of center line, but we will be good. It's a wide runway. So we are going to short field takeoff with an obstacle, so no flaps. Again, confined runway, and again, obstacle in the way. So holding our brakes, throttle goes up, and then we go. And then it's just a normal takeoff until we, what's it called? Until we start our climb. So watching for that rotate goes like that, and then we pitch for VX rather than VY. Watching out our windows to give ourselves an understanding of where we are. Now that we are above our obstacle, we can nose down so that we can actually see where we're going, and we are close traffic. Okay, sorry. Why is there a duck? The duck is an essential safety feature. Yes, it's a combined turn coordinator and stall warning system. What is the special command? I'm sorry, here. It's gonna get, the plane's gonna get wonky for a second. Oh God. It is, exclamation C152. Boom. Yes. Thank Wombi for the duck, the excellent safety feature of the duck, and just, I mean, just look at him. He's so cute. He's essential in every way, and not just as a safety feature. But yes, this is the WB Sim JP Logistics 152. And it is. I fly it all of the time, and I love it, and I have a great time, and it is delightful, and made by really awesome people. Hint, hint, Wombi. So yes, I was gonna say, if you don't have it, definitely get it. So we're going to do a normal landing. We'll do a slip to a landing as well. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000. The duck is so cute. I know, right? And then look. He wiggles, right? Again. So turn coordinator. As well as, oh God, should we? We're going to do a little mini stall in the pattern here. Don't do this in real life. That is what the sim is for. Is for fun things like this. Duck demonstrations. So power, configuring for a power off, stall, carb heat comes out, flap go down, flap goes down. All right, we're gonna zoom up. Ready? Look at him! Stall horn, stall horn. Safety feature activated. And we recover. Delightful. Okay. Oh, shoot. We are really high in the pattern. Hang on. The beak! I know, right? It's amazing. Makes me happy every time. All right. So we are, we're gonna quick do the final landing. So, we are at our pattern altitude. We are at beam our numbers. So we are at 1900. We get that, carb heat out again. Below 100 miles per hour, and within the white arc, first notch of flaps, making sure that we are correcting for any wind, loss of 200 feet or 45 degrees from the runway. We do our first turn, no more than 30 degrees of bank, making sure that we crab for that wind. Get that track nice and straight. Second notch of flaps in. Scanning final. And then they would tell us clear to land, runway 31. And then we would say clear to land, runway 31. Cessna Hotel 31 Delta 1. Making our final turn. And we are a little bit high. Oh, darn. Isn't that unfortunate? So then we do our slippage. I'm not that great at doing the slippage in this aircraft. Well, so usually throttle comes out first. So throttle comes out first, and then you do the slippage in order to use the... I don't know what it is. Maybe if I go like this, and then I go like this instead. Oh, interesting. Yeah, it slips a lot better that direction. Okay, sorry. So yes, slip. Do that, put the fuselage into the relative wind to create drag and reduce altitude without increasing speed. So now we do a nice normal landing. The runway was coming up nice, and it was just getting bigger in our vision. It wasn't moving up or down in our vision. That appears to be a runway. So we are going to, okay, oops. So now we have to taxi quite a bit. So we're gonna have to cross another runway. Sorry. Yeah, so on that landing, you want that nice sight picture of the runway. It should simply be getting bigger in your field of vision. Not going beneath the cowling, not getting further away from the cowling. And then once you get, hang on. Yep. So now we're crossing that another runway. So we got that stop sign sort of thing. We're on the runway though, so we cross it. And then, oh, there it is. Then we get ourselves onto the taxiway. Excellent. We crush a bunch of lights because we crushed that. No, we didn't. So we get our tail, oh God, over that hold short line, that double solid line. We got the double dash, double solid. We want to be on the solid side, fully over that line. Oops, wrong button. Carb heat and flaps are up. Landing light goes off, trim for takeoff. And then tower would tell us what to do, where to go, and or let us know to switch over to ground. So, hang on. Didn't realize it moved with the horn. I know, right? Oh, it's excellent. I love it. Can I do a barrel roll? It's so late now. If you really, really want me to get back up in the air one more time to do a barrel roll, I will. Otherwise, we can do that next time when I'm still in the air. I'm sorry, we are. I was trying to get the final maneuver / landing thing in there, since I've been babbling a lot this evening. Him yes! Disclaimer, the wish to make the duck happy may be counterproductive to practicing safe flying. This is true. This is just only a little bit true. Only a little bit true. And okay, was that to the barrel roll? I appreciate it. It is. It's very late. I don't know what time it is for you, but yes. Next time when we're in the air, we'll definitely attempt. I'm not sure I've actually done a proper one ever. I think I do more of like the aileron roll. I don't quite know the difference between the two yet, but I will definitely attempt. A worthy sacrifice for the benefit of Happy Duck. Abso-flippin'-lutely. Okay, so we were going to taxi, and guess what? We have to deal with our hotspots, or one hotspot for this taxi. So, couple of things we'll talk about. We have our taxiway intersection / destination, not destination. Taxiway intersection signs. So Alpha goes this way and this way. We are currently on the taxiway Delta. And so yeah, so they're gonna tell us taxi the ramp via Charlie 1, cross runway 36, Alpha 1 to Alpha 1 to the ramp. Oh, we were definitely not at the GA ramp. I should have. Yeah. Oops. We'll take a quick look at that at the end. So then we read back. Charlie 1, Alpha 1 to the ramp. Cross 36 at Charlie 1. So we want to get on not Alpha. So we're continuing on Charlie. So that's why we saw that Alpha was going this way. We don't want to go on there, so we continue on Charlie, because that would have led us onto the runway, and that would have been a runway incursion. We get on this center line because that is what normal professional people do, because wingspan clearance. So Charlie for a little while. Again, red. Use that as a sort of like stop sign. Stop and think about what you're doing. Do you have clearance to go through there? Are you prohibited from going in there? I'm leaning every freaking time. I lean. Oh god. This is fine. They don't see anything. Those taxi lights were broken when I got here. So, this is our hotspot area. Oh god. I'm braking. So this holds short line. Hello. Thank you for the follow, Tisiba Tom. I hope I said that correctly. I appreciate you. Thank you for putting up with me. I'm sorry. Yes, again, I fly better in a real plane. I do. I don't do this stuff in a real plane. Also, it is the end of a long night. So it's the way it is. So yes, we'll look at our hotspot again. We'll look at our airport diagram again. But this is where this hold short line is. It's back from where you might expect it to be. So you got to be careful when coming up to those things that you do not cross that line, because if you cross that line, that is a runway incursion. So as we come through here, we were cleared to cross 36. But it's weird because that runway is not connected to this taxiway. So, like, technically that looks like we're not cleared to cross it because it was runway 4 and 22. But we were, because that's the hold short line. There's no hold short line for this 36. So we were cleared to cross that, and we are crossing it. Getting on to Alpha 1. You're in my way. We're We're taxiing on the grass. Grass is better anyway. Oh, we're gonna whip a cookie. Sorry, it is. It's there. There. Sorry. Okay, I'll quick get back to chat, then we'll do shutdown and we'll do this stuff. US dried off. See that we succeeded in vacating the runway expediently this time. We definitely tried. There was yeah, the taxiway was a bit further down than expected. So yes, thank you. Oh, sports taxiing it was. Oops. And it was perfect. Hi, hello, good. I am glad. Can't remember. Have I ever done VATSIM? Oh yes, I miss VATSIM. I want to get back to VATSIM after CFI Checkride. We're gonna get back to the VATSIM because then I'll be starting double I training at that point. So really got to get back to the instrument stuff. So hello, hi. How is it going? Please remember to keep the power in. Oh wait, at which? Oh yeah. For once. Okay, so we whipped our cookie. We hopefully, again, we're still in Checkride mode. Hopefully he didn't say, no, unsat. So we continue doing the things. So we did everything we were supposed to. We're in our non-movement area. So now we go through our backwards flow. We fuel is on both, trim for takeoff. Flaps are up. Our avionics go off. All the way on. Carb heat is in. Our taxi light can go off. Our other light can go off. We want to leave our beacon on because our engine is still running. Throttle goes out, as does our mixture. Mags off. Battery off. Oh. Whew, sorry. Continue. Because we have to do that. And so now our beacon is off with the aircraft. And we leave the beacon on, the switch out anyway, so that next time it is ready and on for startup. Do the final things. Control the space. And then if he doesn't say anything, we get out of the aircraft. And we sorry. We do our little walk around. And then be like, all right, meet you inside or something, or maybe he'll say, hey, congrats. And then we'll be like, yay. Then I can breathe. Then we go in and we do paperwork. And that is the goal. So, yay! All right. We will go out here. Main menu. I'll get back to chat. We'll look at little nav map and go over some stuff. And then we will be done for the evening. VATSIM controllers don't freaking mess around on them runway incursions. Oh no. Well, actually, there have been a couple times where I'm on VATSIM and I'm doing something silly on the taxi, like not intentionally. And I'll say offhanded, I'll just be like, ooh, hope they can't see that. And then somebody in chat goes, I totally didn't or totally did. And I'm just like, oh my God. You're creeping. You're not supposed to see the behind the scenes because I'm a perfect professional when I'm on the radio. And they get to see all of the all of the panic before the talk. But yes, sure, happy to ever do a check ride with me. Why? Why wouldn't you want to do a check ride with me? As the DP or as the student? Why? Perfect professional lady. Don't forget the lady part. Oh yes. Oh no. Hey, we only had the one slip. Just the one slip today. Granted, it was within the first 20 minutes and was completely unnecessary, but it's only one. So, we'll leave that on for a second. Keep the music going for you guys. Keep the ambiance. We will first look at our, yes, since it is up. Where is the web? There. Okay, so what happened was we landed here and we got to about here on our rollout because this is displaced threshold. So we had to land past here, ended up rolling out fully here because we did a normal landing. And then can't turn onto a runway, can't turn onto a runway. So then we turned off on Charlie here. And then that was what I definitely remember it indicating that this was alpha in the sim. But yes, so that was Bravo, but we made sure brava not to get onto that runway. Boom. Taxi this way. Oh, what? Oh. Okay. So in my experience, I've been taught and I've always said at the GA ramp when I'm at the FBO ramp. So if that is a thing, I need to potentially start saying that differently then. So it is. It's so interesting how like the little differences at different airports. So Charlie, taxi to Charlie, and then we had our hotspot where it said that this hold short line for 3-6 was way over here. So that was our hold short line, and then we went like so and crossed and went back to, well, we went to here. We started out here. Should have been over here, but whatever. It's fine. Okay. Sorry, little nav map. What do you mean no music is being heard? Are you messing with me? It's on. The flight sim music. You're messing with me, aren't you? Cause first thing I said was like, can't wait to stamp that unsat. I remember saying unsat, but like hopefully he didn't say unsat. You can't hear. I can hear it on here. Okay. You're just messing with me because you know I'm delirious at this point of night. Silly goose. Maybe you heard it wrong. Maybe. I don't know. Again, at this point, I could be saying any number of things and not knowing. So, little nav map. Let's do the thing. We will go over this. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. This could be any number of things. Where's the that? Nope, not that one. This one. Boom. No, really, you can't hear it, but it's fine. Well, you can hear me, right? Because I can totally hear it on here. And again, it's just the flight sim music. So weird. I haven't changed anything. Mic is fine. Music isn't up. That's so weird that you can't hear it and I can then. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Unless it's just really, really low for you. And I just don't know how to have settings proper so that it's loud enough across the board. I don't know. Okay, so my thoughts. Like a really abstract, sort of like a gazelle, where it's like really long here with like long ears or long horns, and teeny tiny legs and a teeny tiny tail, and then long back legs, you know. Otherwise, first thought was like like a bat or like one of those like some sort of sci-fi spider creature alien thing that's like with like 2 legs and a strange body. Yeah. Otherwise, put your own Rorschach visions in the chat if you would like. Okay, so we took off, did a normal takeoff straight out from the runway. Look at that. Turned, went to the north, clearing turn, turned around because I'm assuming we were talking about stuff, and then I had to turn back around to get somewhere. Then we did our first steep turn. And then we were doing some stuff, talking about some stuff. Did our second steep turn. Shundell, descent and turning descent, potentially. And then did we do our instrument stalls and instrument maneuvers? No, we didn't do instrument maneuvers until the end. Stalls, potentially. Probably chatting about a lot of stuff. And then potentially a stall there, and then going there. Then we did an emergency descent, and then we turned around to go land on our area here for our emergency procedure engine out thing. Then we came over here and we were looking for spots to go do our lazy 8s. This was supposed to be the 8. The 8 was supposed to go here, and I guess I just missed the midpoint there. And yeah, so it gave us some stuff to talk about, some errors to go over. So that's just like what I'm gonna have to do if that happens again. I have so much less of an issue finding and keeping my points in sight in real life. So then we went and tried to do it again. So we went up here, and then this was our first. I'm not sure what happened there, but so I did, one of the things that I did think was in the sim again, I feel like I have a little bit of a difficult time keeping the bank angle in while also climbing and descending. So that might be a little bit. So I might not have had enough bank in to bring that around. And then we did this one, and it was this one, and it went better like that. So yeah. And then we came around here somewhere and came to do our rectangle ish. Still some a little bit too much crab, I guess, for a northwesterly wind. But it was rectangular-ish. And we went out here to do, well, at some point we did unusual attitudes. And then we came over here and we did our base to final to our short field landing, which went okay. And then we came back around, did a little stall in the pattern for Ducky's sake, and then did a normal landing, and we went over our taxi. So, yep, that's that. Probably just not pushing it to the right audio output. But again, like, so I'm monitoring it on Twitch over here, though, is the thing. So that's why it's weird. And no, I absolutely appreciate that. That's why I'd like to understand why that difference is. Don't let you distract me. Absolutely not. You know how I am at this time. Fully distractible. But yeah, that's strange. Hello. Thank you for the follow, GG Pilot. I appreciate it. Thank you for putting up with me in all my shenanigans-y distractibility. But yes, that was MockISH CFI Checkride. Again, it does. Uh, I get I did every maneuver, I'm pretty sure, apart from fundamentals of flight and instrument stuff during my solo flight. My most recent solo flight, and that was 2.5 hours. And then and I again did not do all of the maneuvers, only did the bare amount of what I might get in the check ride. So I do better in real life. So don't be too concerned about my skills and abilities. Hello. Apollo mission planet commenced. Going to the moon in the 152. Let's do it. It'll work. Okay. So that was that. Oh, shoot. Won't be able to see chat for a second. Boom. You still can't see it. Hang on. Oh my god. It's been. I'm gone for a week and I forget everything. What is that law? The law of exercise and recency. Gosh darn it. Hang on. Where is it? No bad. I can read, right? There it is. Okay. We're checking off our Checkride checklist. That is what we are doing now. So, did we go through what we were supposed to go through? Okay. Started with a normal takeoff, ended with a started with a normal takeoff. We ended with a short field takeoff, normal landing, and a slip to a landing. We did our straight as well as our turning descents, did our steep turns and our chandelles. Did some questionable 8s on pylons, as well as our rectangular course. Power off stall, accelerated. Accelerated maneuver stall is maybe what I meant to put there. Recovery from unusual flight attitudes we went over. Emergency approach and landing simulated, as well as systems and equipment malfunctions. And post-flight procedures. Check. However many checks that is. Take that off. Get that cloudy blue sky vibe. I said Paulo instead of follow. I was looking at the name while saying follow. So pilot to Paulo. Yeah, it's that. But yes. Also Pollo. But it all fits. Okay, I clearly need to go to bed. So let us find someone to raid. I will go like so and like so. Now I will remove the music. I don't know why that would be, that you can't hear it and I could. That's so strange. But yes, let me look at the things as well, and then we'll go over the things. Browsing. So yes, Mustafa, thank you for the raid. Everyone who came in with the raid, I appreciate it as well. Check out Mustafa. And thank you all for the follows. Like I said, putting up with me. In my yes, all of this. We usually fly on Tuesdays. However, sometimes I have to finagle it with my IRL stuff, usually the flying if I have to get up early the next day, or something like that. So can plan on Tuesday, but I will let you know. I will hopefully let you know in Discord. I usually do. I kind of forgot last week. Last week was really weird, but there's my Discord. We got airplane stuff in there. We got some other interests in there. Send me pics of your pets. I like those. Uh, we got the menagerie. We got movies, music, and media. We got general stuff. We got yeah. Lots of different interests. I started this doing reading Edgar Allan Poe, as well as then we moved on to Shakespeare. We were working on Sherlock, but we've had to put that on pause until after Checkride. So that should be getting restarted once Checkride is over. Um, Also watched some Buster Keaton, some old silent films. So that was fun. Miss doing that. So yeah, a lot of different interests. But of course the aviation. Um, Sim as well as in real life. But yeah. Finding somebody to raid. Thank you. Thank you for being here. We like to find our low and slow GA. Ooh. Maybe next time you'll have the time and energy to man the DoorDash rotograph for us again. That's okay. It was difficult to get through without it, but we made it work. Next time. Absolutely next time. um ugh. Him. It does. It ends up being a lot of airliners at this time of night. So we will. I am looking, however, might be what it's going to be. We'll go with our tried and true. This looks like fun. All right. So, keeping it low and slow. However, getting into some choppers, it appears. So, what am I doing? That's not the raid button. There's the raid. Okay. There we go. Okay, sorry. All right. Finishing off the things. Been a great stream. Loved all the humor and interesting not instruction. Disclaimer. Not instruction. Instruction flows. If you take anything away from this into the real life, get it verified with more reliable and competent sources, namely actual instructor. So, but yes, I do. I appreciate you guys letting me practice this stuff, and yeah, It's been helpful for me, and I feel a lot more comfortable speaking. I still feel sometimes weird, like I'm gonna like say the wrong thing, or I have said the wrong thing, but that's just part of the process. So what is happening? Is the stream ending? It is. We're about to send it off to a raid. So going to the moon through the clouds. Yes. Yes. Well, it kind of does. It kind of does look like that, doesn't it? So don't be sad. Oh, I do. I mean, I appreciate that that you're sad that you don't want it to end, but we do. We got a good raid coming up here, and we should be back on Tuesday. Otherwise, again, like I said, I'll let you know in Discord. And yeah, that's when we usually stream. That's when we usually fly, I should say. And hopefully after Checkride, I'll be able to add in a couple more streams throughout the week with different stuff. So yeah, so I'm sorry, but to whoever got lost and found their way here or found their way back, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. It's always a lot of fun having you guys in here. And yeah, putting up with me, especially in my shenanigans. What's the word? Yeah, delirium. So yeah, have a great whatever it's gonna be for you. Hope to see you again soon, and until next time, all the good things. So I'm hitting the button. I had to give my outro. Can't leave without my outro. So yes, I do. I'm sorry. But you'll have a good time. Have fun in the raid. I will be going to sleep, but yes, this is it's gonna be fun. See you again soon. See you very soon. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. And bye. Nah.